Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day of Gloomhaven. Sorry for my absence on Tuesday. Today we'll be taking on scenario 21 to begin with. Um, Still playing on +3 difficulty. This should actually be really difficult, I think, to beat the scenario on +3 difficulty with our party. The truth is, at this point, I think +3 difficulty won't consistently be extremely challenging. It depends really from scenario to scenario, but boss scenarios are not really what we're best at by a significant margin, I think. And especially a boss scenario that's going to have such an extremely exaggerated uh, amount of HP compared to the amount of damage we do. Like, we just don't do that much damage for bosses is the biggest issue. Cragheart is like one good boss attack. Mindthief can do decent boss damage, and the Diviner, I can kind of pre-boss damage a little bit, but it's going to be tough. Anyway, good day, Evsky, and welcome. Anyway, so I think despite the fact that on average +3 is certainly the correct difficulty level for us to be playing on, +3 on this scenario is going to make things difficult. All right, let's see the ordering. So it's Sun, Frost. I think we're definitely not favored to win, I think, on +3 here, but it's more exciting to try it like this, and then we'll see. So Night. Wind, obviously, if we fail it the first time, we'll go down to +2 and try it again. This is also one of the scenarios which I do not love the design of in this game because of the fact that it's sort of a trap scenario. What I mean by this, of course, is that there's like a right and a wrong way to approach the scenario, but you don't have that information going in, which I'm not a big fan of this sort of design. So basically, if you go down first, you're much more likely to lose than win. And if you go up first, you're much more likely to win. Sorry, I said it backwards. In my defense, it is still boiling here. It's actually cooler today, but it's still quite hot, very humid, and I also am still averaging like 4 hours of sleep a night, which isn't great. So yeah, this one we fail going down. No, sorry. Going down we succeed. Going up we fail. That's the way I want to say it. If we go up, if we try to go this path, so technically either of these paths are viable. In the sense that you can there's nothing blocking you. But if you go this way without at least pretending as if you don't know what's about to happen, like theoretically you can go this way if you've played the scenario before and you prep and use a bunch of big movements to go attack here and then prepare to move, etc. And you've already cleared out this room. But if you, for example, just clear out the first room and then you go through this door and go like this without really knowing what you're facing, you're almost guaranteed to lose the scenario, and it's not even really going to be close most of the time because then you have to go into this room where there are monsters you haven't dealt with yet, etc. Whereas if you just go down like this and into here, then you're much more likely to win the scenario. But again, this isn't information that you're supposed to have beforehand, so this is something I really dislike about the design of this scenario. Like I said, it basically feels like a trap. All right, so everything on 6. Shuffle all of these. Okay. Shuffle all of these. I'll need you in a second here. All right. So in the first room, we're going to have an elite Sun Demon and a regular Frost Demon. Our team lost going bot because our third member got blocked at the door and bad things happen. Gotcha. So this is 18 health, and this has 12 health. All right, so we need to do a city event, a road event, and yeah, and then get our battle goals and everything like that. So let's go ahead and do all of that. So city event first. God, really? We are just not ever going to get positive reputation. Oh, man. Should we go for negative reputation in this run? God, that's so brutal. All right, well, for our city event, we went from 2 to 0 reputation. Pretty brutal. And for a road event... Oh, God. Really? Well, I guess this is actually kind of okay. All right. So this is funny because I'm not much of a role-playing kind of guy. much more of a mechanics, like Euro type of person. Flavor doesn't typically matter to me too much. That being said, there are just some choices that you like that are just not like are non-choices, right? Like regardless of how much I pretend that I can distance myself from the theme of what's going on, etc. Sometimes you're faced with a choice which, regardless of how much you tell yourself it's just a game, you can't make the other choice. Like here, I didn't want to make the choice that I made. I knew both outcomes for this thing. Um, like I knew that the other choice was strictly better for me. Well, maybe not strictly better. It was definitely better considering the scenario I'm facing, and I still had to choose something I didn't want to choose here. So we gain 1 reputation, and someone is going to get 3 -1s to start these. I mean, for this scenario, we're going to give those to the diviner. Absolutely. No, it wasn't a hanging event. I can't really say exactly what it was because obviously the goal is to not spoil them. Just gonna blow my nose quickly. 1 second. All right, back. Okay, so battle goals. Be the first to kill a monster during the scenario, or kill 3 or fewer monsters during the scenario. If you do something bad once, you're playing the scenario, you've forgotten all about it. Sorry, I don't quite understand. I think you mean replaying, or anyway. We're definitely not very likely to be the first to kill a monster. However, killing 3 or fewer is very likely for the diviners. This should be a pretty easy check mark if we can actually win. Winning will be the hard part here, I think. Use no items during the scenario. Have 1 or more monsters present. Not super likely to get either of these. We don't care that much about the Cragheart sparks. I mean, we do actually. We still do. I mean, getting +2 medals is obviously good, but we're never using no items. We can try this, but it's not super likely. If you do something bad in the city event, once you starting the scenario, you forget what bad thing you did. Gotcha. Yeah, here it was a road event, not so much a city event, but I understand what you mean. Have 3 or fewer total cards in your hand. Discard at the end, or kill 5 or more monsters. Probably 3 or fewer total cards. This is a really difficult scenario, especially on +3. So this is just the most likely. It's also not that difficult of a battle goal to accomplish. All right, so the goal for the scenario is to kill the prime demon. We need to place a bunch more things. Actually, not a bunch. We just need to grab a treasure tile and an altar, and that's it. Treasure tile doesn't get placed. Altar does get placed. Right there. And we get to place a bunch of letters. I guess we'll do that. All right, so the altar is F. A is here. B is here. 2 from the door, yep. 2 from the door on this side. There. There. Okay, these 2 we don't need, and we need some 1s. Okay. Goes there and there. All right, so that's that. So we know what we're up for against in the first room. We're up against a Sun Demon and a Frost Demon. Sun Demon being elite. That's very manageable still. Let's take a look at the cards we're going to bring versus or not bring. I mean, Mass Hysteria is definitely not good here, as we've basically picked it and not want to use it once. Dark Frenzy is excellent. Yeah, that's crazy. We got to level 5, we got Mass Hysteria, we've never used it once. We're now level 6, and we still are not going to use it. Again, this isn't so much that Mass Hysteria is bad. It just hasn't been good here. Even now that we have the Frigid Blade, and the Ice again does give us sort of +2 attack in the future, so this is really like, attack 6 actually, which is quite good. Doing 1 damage to these like super high health demons. First of all, again, kind of the same issues before. Mass Hysteria scales quite poorly with difficulty level. Playing against level 3 enemies versus level 6 enemies, it's a big difference in terms of the amount of damage Mass Hysteria does relative to their HP bars. These things are just like way too buff. Mass Hysteria just isn't effective against any of these enemies. And the bottom here, so I did say we would use this bottom sometimes on boss fights, which we will, but this is not a short boss fight. It's not like a one-room boss fight, It's still a large scenario and a pretty long boss fight, so we're not going to be using the bottom Mass Hysteria either. We are absolutely going to be using Dark Frenzy, though. And what will get cut for it? Probably just into the night, to be honest. We have to run after the boss a fair amount here, so non-move bottoms are going to be a little bit less good. The non-move bottom invis is quite useful at high difficulties on certain types of scenarios where like you can clog doors and stuff like that, but that's just not really going to be very effective here. So, all right. So Cragheart is level 5. What do we take? Oh yeah, we took kinetic. We've been level 5 for at least one scenario. So do we want any of this stuff? Avalanche is an attack 5 loss, but it's probably not really what we want. Crater is just a single target attack. We don't really need too much healing. We should actually probably cut a heal. Are you prepared for the heat wave next week? Dear God, don't even. I saw. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm not prepared. I am absolutely not prepared. I mean, like today it's down to like a high of 26 here, which is not terrible weather. The problem is it's been so hot that now like it's cooler because it rained, and so now it's extremely humid, which is still quite unpleasant. But yeah, I can't even imagine when it gets back up to 36 next week. Oh God, how is it as hot in Belgium? I imagine it's a little bit cooler, but still pretty hot. What? How high is it getting next week there? Um, Backup ammo was also not even very. I mean, all right. So let's take a look at all the things we can consider cutting actually for the Cragheart. There are a lot of them here, in fact. That, this, and this kind of. I live in the hottest area of Belgium most of the time. Oof. All right, fair enough. I feel like I live in the hottest area of France. It's actually only like second or third hottest, but it's still quite bad. Oh my God, 29. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. All right, sorry. Trying to focus here. So basically, and at night 23. Yeah, see, that's the worst part, right? Hello, Cauldron. When it's still that hot at night, it's just that's the thing I hate more than anything. So backup ammo is an extremely good card. It's still very good. That being said, with the way this scenario works, so basically, just I mean, we don't technically know this, but again, playing on +3 difficulty, I have no qualms with using prior knowledge, especially +3 difficulty on a scenario like this. So once we start fighting the altar, the primary focus is just going to be killing the altar. We might occasionally kill the demons that spawn, but we can't even focus the boss. So getting backup ammo is typically good for the most difficult fight in the scenario. But here, the most difficult fight in the scenario, adding targets on ranged attacks doesn't do very much. Earth and Clod isn't very good because we actually have to move a lot because the altar is going to like jump like this. Now we don't have to follow it all the way around, but at the very least we have to like run from here into here and then back into here. So we still have to move a fair amount. So using non-move bottoms isn't as tenable. And then again, we're going to be in combat for a lot of the scenarios. So Nature's Lift will be good maybe after fighting in here and certainly after fighting in here, but we still have Rumbling Advance to do that healing. So it's not even 100% we need to keep this. And then conversely, what could we actually bring? Now, Dirt Tornado is going to be completely useless here. Avalanche, it still just seems too expensive. And again, multi-target just isn't what we're looking for. The altar moves? Yes, the altar does move. So I think we're probably just going to cut backup ammo for Crater. This is cutting a little bit of movement as well, but we still got... that is actually maybe cutting too much movement. No worries. It happens. There's a catchphrase in the Mage Knight community, which is pretty much true for Gloomhaven as well, which is if you're not playing something wrong, you're doing it wrong. All right, maybe I should actually have backup ammo. It's just otherwise we have a single move 4 because we're not going to be using massive boulder bottom. So we got a move 2 and a move 4, which just isn't really enough. So I guess we need this just as a move 3 over this bottom heal, which again is going to be really difficult to use. I do think I want to keep the healing because again, being at full health when we go into the boss fight will be really valuable. So and this does still provide a lot of healing. Okay, so there and there. I mean, does the Mindthief have something else that's worth bringing? No, not at all. If we could take our level 6 card, we would. All right, Diviner. So, what are you up to? Problem is CC isn't that good here. We actually do need some attacks. So we need to cut something. We also do really want all our deck stacking to be able to do that before going into the boss fight. Again, that's kind of the best thing we can contribute. The disarming is still good in the beginning, though, so I don't mind having that. Cursing is also good if we can stack some curses before going in. This is actually... Oh, this doesn't even work on bosses? God, this is so bad. The top is useful here, though, I suppose. It's not so bad. I mean, it just sucks that, like, here it would finally have been good again, but it's actually not. It's still good against some of the enemies. Yeah, well, the Diviner has some teleport 4s. So we got a teleport 4 here, a teleport 4 here, and then there's another teleport 4 here. So well, we still got some movement. Um, hmm. So what do we really want to bring? I mean, I think we need to bring this. We should probably bring this as well. I mean, we probably want like every single attack we can bring, right? I guess this isn't going to be very good here. And I kind of want the deck stacking, but it's kind of difficult to justify that as well. I mean, so let's look at the cards that are automatic includes. This is an automatic include because this is our best deck stacking. We could cut these two because they're both bad against the boss in the actual boss fight, but they're going to be so good beforehand. It's just kind of insane to do that. This isn't. I mean, this is okay before the boss. Honestly, we could just cut this. How does this swapping with something work? Uh, this bottom could actually maybe do something for the first time ever here by swapping, like allowing us to swap positions with the boss. So this actually might be decent bottom movement. If the bottom isn't good here, it's never going to be good. So let's give it a try. I mean, I feel like this is actually going to be bad, but it's also a level 4 card. I'm level 5. It's kind of insane. I mean, Mindthief, I'm cutting Mass Hysteria. If I knew the class better, I might actually cut this here. I guess I can cut this. Yeah. Let's do something like that then. But I still do want the other deck stacking card. So I guess I'm cutting this as well. Then I'm going to have bad initiatives, but we've got our Boots of Speed. All right, this works. So it's basically like, I mean, Marcel kind of said this, and or Marcel said this, and it's kind of true. The Diviner's form of damage is modifier deck stacking. So like our ability to deal damage on a boss fight, which is kind of the most important thing typically on boss fights, is dealing damage, which is an unfortunate side effect of boss fights, kind of. That really only like one thing matters, which is zerging down bosses on most boss fights. There are a couple which are different than that. So essentially, we need any form of damage we have. So that's why we're bringing this, because no matter what's an attack, this is a move and an attack. So again, we're just bringing it for that. And then both of these, but as deck stacking, actually like, are also forms of dealing damage. And so we're cutting all of our good initiative and this CC slash movement. So we are a little bit low on movement now for sure. We only have this one, but like I said, preordain the path top, actually decent movement while fighting the boss, and we can still do like that plus this bottom or something to, or this plus this to get a lot of movement, still make an attack, or this and this to make an attack, etc. And again, these are not going to be good once we fight the boss, but it's so good before we fight the boss that I think it's just insane to not bring it. But I might be wrong. All right, this looks good. So let's get to it. You can start in any of these 7 hexes. So the deck stacking doesn't matter so much yet. I need to do it before I go into the boss. So for now, I actually might as well take this opportunity to throw out some free curses. The Mindthief can actually CC both of them for us. With this and this, it's pretty free. It's also not bad to not attack with Mind's Weakness first here, because since now that we have Frigid Blade, we're essentially adding 2 damage for when we do use the Mind's Weakness. We're doubling up on our Ice generation here, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we've also got Dark Frenzy now, so we do have more Ice generation. So what are we doing for a top here? Or sorry, yeah, for a top. We don't have range, nor can we have a range on anything to attack with this top. We could use this instead of having the Mindthief immobilize. We can't hit both of them with this. We don't really have a very valuable top here, huh? So what if the Mindthief doesn't immobilize? I mean, then what else is the Mindthief actually doing? I guess just setting up Mind's Weakness instead? I suppose that's fine. Because we're going to get the ice anyway. So this way we get to keep this for ice later, which is nice. We're still going to stun the Sun Demon because that's the really threatening enemy in the room. We get to place the Immobilized Wound Rift, so this will walk into it, get immobilized and wounded. It's only bad if this goes before us, although it can go at 18, but we can boost the speed. It's fine if we use boost of speed here because we can long rest, and getting wound on it is nice. What's the new weapon again you got last week? So it's the Frigid Blade, the best weapon in the game for the Mindthief, which is during your melee attack, consume ice to add +2 to a single attack. It's actually a random item design, and it was our first random item design pull. This is essentially the luckiest I've ever been with random item designs. This is really, really fortunate because that's so good for the Mindthief. Consuming ice to get +2, because the Mindthief ends up generating a lot more ice than she actually uses, unless you use the level 5 augment, which we're not doing. So yeah, just gonna blow my nose one more time quickly. Sorry. All right, back. So I think on the Cragheart, we don't need to do anything too exciting. I think we'll just use that and Crater. We're going to do this to get strengthened for 2 rounds of attacking. We're just going to attack with Crater. Doesn't really matter. I guess, no, we should be smart for experience. Experience matters so little for the Cragheart at the same time now. Like, once you get to level 4 with the Cragheart, you really don't care about levels anymore until you get to level 9, right? And level 9 is also just really stupid, so I'm not really in a rush to get to it. Level 7, I guess, is kind of interesting now that the other level 7 card has been FAQ'd. So maybe that's still interesting. But so basically the argument is I could use Massive Boulder now so that I can use Crater next turn and essentially gain 1 free experience this way. The downside is I'm never going to get the 1 splash damage, but I think I'm actually not ever getting the 1 splash damage here anyway. I might, because if we use Disarm Rifts against them, problem is it's difficult to use Disarm Rifts against Sun Demons because they got like 3 out of 8 that they're ranged attacks. Let's try to go for the experience, whatever. Worst case scenario, we're missing out on 1 damage. I think this is fine. All right, so it's you and you, which are uneliminated, and nope, but you are eliminated. Here we go. Okay, so standard stuff all around. This is perfectly fine. Oops, we'll keep that over there for now. So first up is the Mindthief. We're going to gain 1 experience and activate the Mind's weakness. So we have +2 on all our melee attacks. Then we're going to use the bottom perverse edge. We kind of put ourselves stupidly here. We should have actually, I guess, been where the Cragheart was. No, it wasn't really. The annoying thing is, it actually would have been better to immobilize and wound the Sun Demon, since the wound is more valuable than the Sun Demon, since the Sun Demon's a higher priority target and has 2 shields, so more difficult to damage. At the same time, the Sun Demon also has a fair amount of healing, so I don't know. It's kind of like not that big of a deal. But ultimately, here we only have the choice to stun the Sun Demon. And again, this should once again I cannot emphasize enough how good the +1 range enhancement on Perverse Edge is. Again, there's so many beginnings of scenarios where the difference of having 2 and 3 range is the difference between not being able to do anything and being able to do something. Like if we had to use Scurry here to go stun something, this is so much worse than just already being in range. Like I said, we could have CC'd both enemies in the room this turn. We didn't actually need to, but we could have. This +1 range enhancement is incredible. It is an extremely high value enhancement for such a small cost. Hello, Femrus. All right, so anyway, Perverse Edge. Let's make sure we have all these shuffled. Attacking the Sun Demon. Okay, so we don't do any damage, but we do create ice, and at least we have the Mind's Weakness set up now, so we'll be all right. All right, and we stun the Sun Demon. Well, yeah, it's not super fresh, but it's just to let people know who are otherwise watching the regular campaign why this is a different campaign. Okay, Cragheart is up next. We're going to gain 1 experience, do a move 2. So this is going to get immobilized here. So I guess we can go like here. This seems fine. So we strengthen ourselves. And then we're going to use the top of Massive Boulder, creating Earth, making an attack 3, range 3. This is the higher priority target, but the sooner we kill one enemy, the easier it is to chain CC the other enemy. So yeah, let's just hit the Frost Demon with this attack, I suppose. Okay, so we have an attack 3, range 3 with advantage. Okay, so we do 5 damage, down to 7. And then the Diviner's up. We're going to use the bottom of Anticipate Intricacies to curse the 2 enemies and create Dark. Again, taking any opportunities to get some curses before we start fighting the boss is very welcome. And then we're going to use the top of Dimensional Divide, place 1 Rift Token on any unoccupied hex within range 5. placing this here. Only 12 HP on +3. Yeah, the regular Frost Demons don't have so much HP. And yeah, definitely not going the wrong way on purpose. We did that once, we regretted it. And here, as I said in my introduction, this actually on +3 is going to be quite challenging, I think, because our party is not so good at fighting bosses. Like, we don't have that much burst damage. Like, have some. Cragheart has one card again. Mindthief has a good amount, and the Diviner basically has none, so I think it's going to be difficult to do all the damage we need to deal. So I'm definitely not intentionally making it harder for myself. All right. So yeah, whenever any enemy enters a hex containing a rift token this round, it gains wound and immobilize. Okay, so the Frost Demon goes, creates ice as well. This doesn't really matter. Moves to here, and surely enough, gets wound and immobilize. So unless it does a range attack next turn, we don't even have to worry about it. It's only 1 out of 8 to do a range attack. I guess it can also heal, which would be a little bit annoying. And the Sun Demon loses the stun. And that is the end of the round. All right, so you'll Mindthief. We're going to just run on up with Empathetic Assault. Definitely good to get strengthened. And we're going to just use the ice for a stun here to, again, just take the Sun Demon out as much as possible. Cragheart's just going to attack with Crater. And do we have anything meaningful to do on bottom? I mean, we could use Heaving Swing on bottom, but I think I'll probably end up using it on top. Like, I'm probably going to use Rock Slide to create rocks at some point, and then I'll use Heaving Swing to push the Sun Demon into it, so I think I'd rather just do that. We could get some free direct damage, I suppose, with Rumbling Advance, but we'll have to make sure... I guess if we're going up here, that's easy to do. Yeah, sure. Why not? It also gives us Earth again, which doesn't really matter, but again, this is kind of free. So what are you up to now, Diviner? So this is actually in range of our top attack, so we've got a lot of things we can do now. We can attack with this. Certainly worth doing. Actually, we can just do double attack. It's not bad. They're not in range to hit 2 targets with this to curse. We can do immobilizes. Again, not so necessary because the Frost Demon's still immobilized. Yeah, I think just double attack here is probably fine. More damage the better, right? Yeah, initiative doesn't really matter. Okay, no range attack. That's the most important thing. So we're up first on the Mindthief. We're going to use the bottom Empathetic Assault to move 2, heal 2 self. 1, 2 to here. Also get strengthened for 2 rounds. Completely balanced enhancement. And we're going to consume ice, gain 1 experience, and we're going to make an attack 5 stun with advantage. Okay, so 5 is 7, but this thing has 2 shields, so it's 5 actual damage. Down to 13, and stunned. Okay, Cragheart's up next. Yeah, I think we'll leave the Diviner to mess with the Frost Demon. We'll make our attack here. Use Blade. We don't want to use the Blade because we don't want this to attack. Otherwise, this actually makes a pretty big attack. I'd rather stun it. Here, the stun is more valuable than the extra 2 attack. Because we can only use the ice for one thing, either the stun or the extra attack, and here I'd rather have the stun. Okay, so like I said, first we're going to use the top of Crater as an attack through range 3, which will target the Sun Demon. We're consuming the Earth just to gain 1 experience with the top of Crater. Using the push or not using the push doesn't change anything, so our attack is still advantage. All right, nice. So our 3 turns into 6, which is 4 actual damage. It's down to 9. And then we're going to use the bottom of Rumbling Advance, creating Earth, forming a move 2, and everything adjacent to us takes 1 damage. And our Strengthen is finally gone. Okay, Frost Demon goes, is immobilized, takes 1 damage from its wound. Immobilize is gone. Okay, so I think we'll begin with our top attack here on the Diviner. So we're going to use attack 3 range to push 1. The reason for using the top attack first, well, there's not really much of one. I guess we move here, use the bottom attack. I mean, we almost certainly have to use both attacks anyway, so I don't think it really changes anything. Yeah, because even if we got a crit on the attack 2, we would still have to do another attack on it, because a crit on a 2 would still be a 4. And we can't actually do better than that. We don't have more, like, we don't have a +3 in our deck yet. So in this case, we might as well use the 3 first here, and then maybe we can use the 2 somewhere else. Or we can even default this. It just gives us options. So attack 3, range 2, push 1, creating light. We will not use the push. Don't really want this any further away. Or do we? If we put it like here, does that help anything? Not extensively. Now let's just not push it. All right, here goes the attack. +0, sure. So 3 damage. Puts it down to 3. And then we're going to use the bottom of Ray of Light, move 2, attack 2, range 2. Just move up to here. Again, no reason to go any further than that, I think. And make an attack 2 on the Frost Demon. Okay. Well, a little bit of overkill there, but that's fine. That is fine. Okay. So we're done, and the Sun Demon just loses its stun again. And that's the end of the round. Okay. So what are we doing now? Can immobilize it. That's probably fine. So it can do a ranged attack. It did just flip one of its ranged attacks. It's only got 2 left. It could also heal, but... So I think I'll just do some deck stacking now anyway. It doesn't feel like I have a lot else that I need to do. I suppose I can actually just play the bottom of this. Either I'll default it or I'll use the Immobilize. I guess in that case I don't need to use the Immobilize on the Mindthief. I just need to move away, which I'm going to do anyway because I'm going to play Dark Frenzy to attack here. So then we're going to default attack with what? We've already got good initiative with that, so I suppose we can just use this for our default attack. Every other card here is just more valuable than Silent Scream. In fact, we probably shouldn't have brought Silent Scream to this scenario. Whoops. All right, and as for us, our other half also doesn't really matter. Probably just going to Endurance Potion it back anyway, so I guess also just better to get slightly earlier initiative. So you've been eliminated. Here we go. All right, that's fine. We'll get to immobilize you, so you won't do anything. Mindthief's up first. We're going to use the top of Silent Scream just as a default attack 4. We got the advantage last turn. Yeah, so you're still advantage, so this is an attack 4 with advantage. So 5, so 3 actual damage. Putting it down to 5. And then we're going to use the bottom of Dark Frenzy, gain 1 experience, to creating ice, move 3, attack 3, range 3. This card's ridiculous. We're going to go to this coin here. Guess it's a little bit unfortunate because we also don't care about coin money that much on the Mindthief. I guess the only one who really needs money at this point is the Diviner, but I mean, it's not like we're not going to take it. We are playing a Mindthief still, right? All right, so we can attack 3, range 3 with advantage, targeting the Sun Demon again. Ooh, okay. Still have a -1 in our deck. So this ends up just being a 3, which is just 1 damage. Putting it to 4. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so then the Cragheart's up. We're going to just use the top of Kinetic Assault. I'm not going to move anywhere. I'm just going to, oops, and we lose our strength then. Just going to make an attack 4. +1, so 5. 5 is 3. Would be dead if we just got a +1, which again, we should be able to count on a +1 typically for the Mindthief. A little bit rough there, but so be it. Okay. And then we've got the bottom of Unstable Upheaval as a default move. Just going to move to here, I suppose. And we're going to use an Endurance Potion to recover this. Since we have an odd hand size, this gives us an extra turn. Oh, to enhance His Highness. All right. So then it is the Diviner's turn. Yeah, so I guess we need to immobilize it still. All right. We're going to use the bottom Void Snare, gain 1 experience, make an attack 1, immobilize, targeting the Sun Demon. Okay, yeah, it's fine to see that. I mean, we would have had to get a +2 to actually deal damage. So we get an immobilize, and then we're going to consume light, gaining 1 more experience, and look at the top 5 cards of a deck and put them back in any order. Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes sense in the Mindthief deck. We've got a 5 out of 7 to find the crit, which is generally pretty good. That means it can't be the Mindthief to kill this next turn. No, I guess we can just put something else, put something safe on top, and then the crit afterwards, because we get to rearrange 5, yeah, for sure. All right. There were all the cards we wanted before. We didn't find the crit. All right, fair enough. So we'll have to rearrange again at some point to get past this, or we just use advantage to get past it. I guess it's whatever either way. So we definitely want this on top. And then I guess we want the ice sooner rather than later. Although, how does that sync up with what we're going to do? Not so well, right? Because we're actually, most likely, so this turn we're just going to play, like, I guess Cranium Overload for good initiative. And but we need good movement to go to the next room. Yeah, so I guess like these two cards, and then the following turn we'll play these two cards. And I guess that works. And so if we're gonna, so this coming turn we're gonna attack with this. We could get the free ice here, but oh, that was making me low. We could get the free ice here, which is unnecessary to get the +2 as well. And the ice won't actually work because again, I think we're most likely going to go into the next room and use hostile takeover to attack. So in that case, we're getting the ice there as well. So actually, what we want is we want to do it like this. Yep. So again, +2 ice, +2, +1, because there's no point in having the ice generating modifier when we make the attack with hostile takeover, which is going to give us ice anyway. Okay, the Sun Demon goes, creates light, and loses the immobilize. And that's the end of the round. Again, we need to use this even though it's slightly better movement because we need to make sure we go before the Sun Demon and kill it. Ol' McCraggykins, huh? Kind of just doing nothing here for a turn. I guess we can go pick up the coin. Will we have enough movement then? Yeah, we should be fine. So we need 3 movement to get there. We just need to go after this. Play another card that we don't care about. So we want this for good movement. We want this to play. Yeah, I mean, I guess this plus this is reasonable combo. So we'll just throw away Nature's Lift here. And so here, we're just going to Endurance Potion a card back. So we can actually use Preordain the Pass bottom here, and then we just Endurance a top. Sure, that works. Because Preordain the path bottom allows us to use this light and mess with one of the upcoming decks, which could be decent. Thermos. Touche. Man, they have 236 not reshuffles. It's pretty uncommon for monsters to have 2 of the same initiative, which isn't a reshuffle. But I guess it just happens a couple times. The more you know. All right, so Mindthief's up first. We're going to play one of our cards to go here, and the other one of our cards. I mean, we're playing a bottom move and a top attack, but literally either can be either. No, I guess that's not true. We're going to play this bottom so we can play this top attack because then we gain 1 experience. Yes. We flip a +1 on an attack which is 4, so 5. This thing has 1 life left, so it is, in fact, dead. All right, so then the Diviner goes. We're going to use the bottom Preordain the Path, consuming light, gaining 1 experience. We get to look at the top 2 cards of any non-boss monster ability card deck, and we can put up to 1 on the bottom. I think it's always these two. I think it's pretty much always the Night Demon. Night Demons have the scariest decks, I think, of these. I mean, Night Demons and Sun Demons are the 2 that are the scariest decks. Flame Demon has a couple things, but they're not that big of a deal. And the Sun Demon we just faced, so it's not very likely we're facing Sun Demons in this coming room. Given a, I mean, right, I'm going to move this away so we're clearly not looking, but a reasonable assumption would be if there were these 2, I mean, so we've got like room, right? So we had Frost and Sun here, so it means that in one of these rooms we're going to have like Earth, Night, and Fire, Wind. I mean, I don't know exactly how they're broken up, but basically like that. So there's no real need to look at the Sun Demon deck right now anyway. Plus, the Sun Demon deck just has too many things which are too similar, I think, in the end. So let's have a look at the Night Demon deck. Okay, it's good to know that they're not going to have any early initiatives here. Them creating dark can be worrisome because they can then use it. Oh, but it's a reshuffle. Oh, that doesn't change too much. This is interesting. The annoying thing is this ranged attack kind of defeats our hostile takeover a little bit. Technically, we can outrange it with hostile takeover. I guess we can go after them. Yeah, that works. And then we can immobilize them for the turn that follows. So then this won't do anything. So we can actually leave like this and this. Oh, the question is, do we actually want them creating dark? That's the most annoying thing. We can use it though. Yeah, I think having them creating dark is fine. All right, so we'll go like this and this. I'm actually gonna just do what I normally do here, although here I have a lot less space. So TTS doesn't bug out. So we know that we have that and then that for the Night Demon. The thing about modded Gloomhaven, you can't see the upcoming monsters, so you can't use the Diviner pre-open door. Oh, you're talking about the fantasy mod? Yeah, that would be annoying. Okay, so then we've got this card. We're gonna just play a default. I mean, is that fine? After that, we can move to here. We're not doing a whole lot then. Yeah, but I mean, longevity matters. I think I'll use this opportunity. If we have a kind of underwhelming turn, it's not the end of the world, I think. Or is it better to just long rest then next turn? Just to like let this go and long rest now, and then save the endurance potion for later. No, I think there's a chance we can do something, and even if we don't, it's okay. Just moving 2 on a turn is all right. So let's endurance potion this, which we just play for default top back. There's definitely a decision to be made, though. It's not clear that that's the correct choice. All right, we use the bottom backup ammo to move 3. Let me just go grab this coin. Okay. So we clearly want the Cragheart to open because our goal is to immobilize after the Night Demons go, assuming there are no Night Demons in this room. Obviously, we only have a 50% chance that that's the case, but I think we can make this work regardless. So the turn we're going in, it's certainly going to be with Rock Slide. This also just makes sense. And it also sets up very nicely the Heaving Swing in the following turn. And here, we want to go late in the hope that stuff gets a bit closer to the door, because we're only going to be able to move 2, so we're not going to have a ton of range. We need to hope that things get a little bit closer for us to attack. And again, if we don't get to attack anything, it's not the end of the world. It's a kind of sort of free turn anyway. It's going to be harder to play default actions once we're fighting the boss. All right, so we have a move 4 on the bottom of Explosive Punch. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the door. Okay. Surely enough, we have Night Demons. So we've got 1 Elite, 1 Regular, and then 2 regular Wind Demons. Oof, no Elite Wind Demons. All right. We don't have Eclipse here to carry us, so Elite Wind Demons are an issue. So this goes there. This goes there. This goes there. And this goes there. Ooh, okay. That's annoying. So they're actually going to hit the Cragheart in the end because we gave them range attacks. I mean, this one's going to... All right. Well, not optimal, but yeah. So let's flip both of them. So we're going to use the Boots of Striding. We could use our compass now, but I don't really think that's necessary. Just to avoid 1 attack. It's not that big of a deal. So we're going to step back to here, I suppose. Because this way, this one's not hitting us. We can never move far enough that this one doesn't hit us. So I think just going to here is fine. This way we don't move back too much. Because we don't necessarily want to. Ugh, it's annoying though, because we can't place the rocks to damage the Wind Demons, which is really important as well. But we'll have Rock Slide again back again soon. Yeah, otherwise we could use like Compass. It's not easy. It's not really any reasonable way. I mean, we could just Compass this one away. Like, yeah, but no. I think I'd rather save the Compass. Compass could be useful. All right, so we'll step back to there using our Boots of Striding. And then we use the top of Rock Slide, gain 1 experience, and create Earth. And we get to drop 3 rocks, each rock performing dealing 2 damage. So we're going to put a rock there. Put a rock here. I want rocks that I can easily push these things into. I guess this is maybe better. Because we don't want to block our path to the altar in the future. Guess like that is fine. This will create a bit of a wall for the things that come from up here. Ah, nice 50 cent. If you just tag me in the comments or send me a message, I'll get it added. Or actually, Themris is here right now, so Themris can also just add it to the class resources. Since it's a communal account, we used to do that. All right, I think this is fine. I mean, there's no way to know that this is the best, I think. But we're getting 2 damage on both things we can damage. And again, creating a sort of obstacle wall for the things that'll come from up here, I think is useful. So 2 damage here. And 2 damage here. Not the most exciting rock slide, but they can't all be 11s. All right, so the Night Demons go. They attack at -2, so this means the regular here attacks for 3 on the Cragheart. Okay, to take 3 damage. That's what we have some healing for. All right, and then it is the Diviner which goes. So we can delete this now because we know we have this next. So we're going to use the bottom of Revitalizing Fount as a default move 2. 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, until we have our enhancement, it's impossible to hit both of them with this. So, I mean, we're still just going to give the 1 free curse. We'll attack the regular here. So we create dark, and we make an attack 0 with disadvantage curse. I wonder, because the Cragheart's here, it's actually annoying, because we could immobilize this one with our attack here using our net, because I might actually want a long rest. But then where does the Mindthief go to immobilize? I guess we know that they're going at 41, so if we go here and immobilize this one, as long as we go before 41 the following turn, that's actually fine. Yeah, I suppose that's actually worth it. All right. And I think us long resting on the Diviner here is also quite reasonable, because we know we have a turn where neither of them are going to do anything coming up if we do this. So in that case, we're going to use our goggles, and we're going to use our weighted net. So our weighted net's adding immobilize to our attack here, and our goggles are negating the disadvantage. Yeah, okay. Very exciting attacks. God, this card has been consistently underwhelming. So there we go. Just one goes in, and we get immobilized. When demons go, I think we've had this discussion before. Does anyone actually remember the answer to this? Do elements which are consumed based on attacks? So, I mean, all right. This is, I mean, I know we've had this discussion before. It's such a weird question. So to clarify for everyone why this is weird, elements only get consumed by monsters when they're all right. Element consumptions which are tied to attacks only get consumed by the monsters when they perform the attack itself. So, for example, if it was like consume Earth for +2 attack, assuming when demons aren't attacking, they would not consume the Earth. However, here, what's weird is that the fact that it's modifying range should actually come before the monster attacks, because obviously whether a monster has range or not on something determines whether the monster is actually making the attack itself. This is a sort of chicken and the egg argument, which is really weird. So here, no matter what, whether it consumes it or not, it won't be able to make the attack. So I'm inclined to believe that it will not consume the Earth here. I know we talked about this before. I mean, I know I need ECO, but unfortunately he is not here today. Does anyone know the answer to this? I don't think it matters too much for me, but I'm just kind of curious, more than anything. It's not like we're consuming Earth next turn anyway. So I think for now we will leave it because range is technically part of an attack. I think we'll leave this as it doesn't consume, but an argument I think certainly can be made for the fact that it would consume, because it is actually a precursor to whether the monster attacks or not. So it's kind of weird. So we'll assume that it doesn't consume, and it just does. They do nothing because they don't move. And then we have the Mindthief at 79. So the Mindthief is going to perform a move 4 jump with the bottom feedback loop, going 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. I think it does consume, even though it doesn't perform the attack. Do you have a basis for this? All right, and then we're going to use the top of hostile takeover. Oh, it's going to be disadvantaged. Oh, you were stupid. We should have put the 2+2s. Let me show something though. So that's not the counter element isn't necessarily a viable argument, because, for example, an Earth Demon only consumes wind if it actually makes the attack. So it's not inherently tied to the fact that it's an opposite element. Yeah, we were stupid. We were stupid. We forgot about the disadvantage. I mean, I was planning around. I guess I couldn't know for sure that the first thing I would be attacking would be a Night Demon. Whatever. I mean, we're just missing out on ice. It's not the end of the world. Oh no. After that, we're gonna have a disadvantage to the miss, though. How do I deal with that? So I'll have to move to gain advantage first, but I can't. I need to move away from these things at the same time. Oh, this is really obnoxious. Oh, this stupid disadvantage. Yeah, this is actually really annoying to deal with. Not this. This doesn't matter so much, but the fact that my next attack will miss if I don't do something. But what I need to do typically is to move away before attacking here. That's the advantage of the disadvantage. I mean, of immobilizing them. So I'm actually going to, but in order to not end up missing my next attack, I need to use Empathetic Assault first. All right, well, anyway, we should still always do this. So we gain 1 experience, we create ice, we make an attack 2 range 4 mobilized targeting the elite. We flip a +2 and a +2 ice, because again, we have a miss coming up, yeah. So we get the +2. So our tech does 4 damage, putting this out of 15. Okay, end of the round. So we're definitely short resting here. It's a given. Us, we're long resting over here. That's also fine. And us, we're going to play these cards. How realistic is... Oh, I guess we're going to push this away. So it actually works. It works. It works. Okay, okay. That's great. That is beautiful. All right, so short rest here. Oh. I think I can't lose this card. It's my second highest consistent damage card. So at this point, the only card that I would... Well, so on a reroll here, there are 2 cards I don't want to lose, which are kind of like equal to this. Empathetic Assault, specifically just for this turn, also in general, and Frigid Apparition. Even Frigid Apparition, though, I think at this point is more manageable to lose than this. So basically, it's just now Empathetic Assault that I can't lose, but I should reroll, because again, I mean, this is either an attack 8 on top, or an attack 3, move 3 on bottom, which then adds +2 attack in the future because of the ice. So both halves of this are really, really, really good for this scenario. I can't lose this, and I don't have Mind's Weakness in my discard at this point, so it's really just Empathetic Assault. I hate this game. I hate TTS. I hate TTS. Let's be honest. I mean, it would be one thing if this happened to me occasionally, but this happened every single short rest on a, I mean, or almost every. I mean, I think every short rest that I remember. I guess it probably wasn't every single one. We ended up re-rolling and then losing. So to be clear to everyone, we didn't have the option to long rest here because we're adjacent to something which attacks for 5 and is immobilized. God. That is incredibly stupid. Incredibly stupid. Yeah, maybe. Again, to be clear, Dark Frenzy is still more important than Empathetic Assault. Like overall, for the success of the entire scenario, it is still better to have lost Empathetic Assault than Dark Frenzy. But what's crazy is that we drew a 1 out of 9 to get the absolute best card in our deck, and then after that we drew a 1 out of 8, getting the one other card we really didn't want to lose. Because like I said, losing Frigid Apparition wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just missing out on one attack at this point, which is again compared to the difference of losing Dark Frenzy, not even close. And Empathetic Assault is just really, really valuable because of what we need to do this turn. So we really did 1 out of 9 into 1 out of 8. And what's crazy is we did 1 out of 9 into 1 out of 8 literally last Thursday as well, in this our very first short rest as well. And then after that, we again did, like, I think it was like 1 out of 8 into then 1 out of 7 with Mind's Weakness. I know Epsky. I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. But I know the rules for this. It's just... So again, this is why we didn't consume it, is because it does tend to stick to this, but I mean, this is kind of missing the point here. So, for example, what if... So this has 4 range, okay? So what if a character is at 4 range from the target? So... yeah, TTS does seem to know, Dave. If you consume the Earth and get -2 range, you're no longer making an attack. So, I mean, like, but all right, anyway. The question would be, like, so here the Earth reduces range. Let's imagine for a second that instead we have, like, wind consumption and we increased range, okay? And you have an enemy, let's say, that is at 5 range away from the Wind Demon. So you have 4 range normally, but if you consume wind, you go to 6 range, let's say, and the enemy's at 5 range. But you only consume elements if they're part of the attack if you perform the attack. But if something's 5 range from you and you increase range +2, then you're not making an attack, so you shouldn't consume the element, so you wouldn't gain the range. Now here, this is the reverse argument, but it's still kind of the same point. The question isn't how monsters consume elements. We know how monsters consume elements. The question is, when the consumption, which is part of an attack, is actually a precursor to whether the monster makes the attack or not, does it actually consume the element? This is different than a typical, like, instance of monsters doing exactly what you linked. Because, again, this determines whether the monster actually makes an attack or not. All right. So then it's useless to be a -2 there. I don't understand either. So anyway, the Mindthief is missing an attack here. That's a given. We cannot avoid that anymore. We've already declared the long rest for the Diviner. We have no way of getting an advantage anymore, and we can't restack the deck since the Diviner is long resting. So we're going to miss an attack. So the best thing we can do in that case is simply to miss an attack, which doesn't matter very much. I mean, unfortunately, all of our attacks are pretty good, but I guess the best case, I mean, the best one would be this one, but there's not really any reason to do that because theoretically neither of these enemies are attacking unless we go after and we stun one. But then we're not doing anything on top is the issue. No, I think we're fine. I mean, Marcel's also shown that he doesn't necessarily always know the correct rules himself. He's been wrong a couple times, so I think it's not necessarily, I mean, like, he probably has a better idea than we do, but it's still not necessarily even definitive. So there's no way for us to go after because this one needs to be pushed away, otherwise it's hitting us, which sucks. So yeah, I guess we're just attacking with Dark Frenzy to lose the ice. So just like, no, I guess we can still just attack with this to lose the ice. I mean, sorry, to lose the miss. It's kind of not such a big deal, right? I mean, I don't care so much about having a stun. I think I'd rather have Dark Frenzy. So this way I'm wasting, quote unquote, a smaller attack. So then what are we attacking on top with? I don't need the stun here. I'd rather keep the opportunity or the option to do that. I think we just attack with Silent Scream. Like so. All right. Here we go. Wind Demon's up first. All right, so Wind Demons are going to consume Earth and create Wind. They have 1 additional shield. They have -1 move and -1 range. So this means 3 movement, 3 range, but it should be easily enough. 1, 2, 1, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 to there. 1, 2, 3, yep. And their attacks are at -1, so they normally attack for 3, here 2. So 2 attack 2s on the Mindthief, so 1 damage will take it, 3 damage will take it. All right, so then we're up on the Mindthief. So we're going to begin by using the bottom of Perverse Edge. We gain 1 experience and create ice. Ah. Because we could actually stun one of these now, which would do something, but then we don't miss on that attack. Then we still miss on our top attack, which sucks. Ah, God. All right, whatever. So we're going to use the bottom of Perverse Edge, because I'm not that threatened by the Wind Demons. And getting the +2 on that attack when they have 4 shield does nothing. So we're going to use the bottom Perverse Edge, attacking the Elite over here. All right, Sievsky. So we have a disadvantage, so we miss. Pretty annoying. And now we have our crit, but we're also not going to get our crit because also disadvantaged. This is really obnoxious. All right, and then we're going to use the top of Silent Scream as a default attack 4, targeting the adjacent Night Demon. We're going to consume the old ice. There was previously ice with Frigid Blades. This gives us up to an attack 6 with disadvantage. So flipping twice. Yep. All right. Well, interestingly enough, that that actually does it, which is a little bit unfortunate because now the Cragheart's not doing anything, I think. Yeah, that one-shots. I forgot that it was the other +2 ice. So this is actually an ambiguous modifier situation. So this means we simply take the first one. So our attack 6 becomes an attack 12. So we simply one-shot this. Which normally you would think we'd be happy about, but it's actually a little bit annoying because now the Cragheart's not doing anything. I mean, I guess whatever, it's fine. It's not worse. All right, so now the Cragheart's up and we've got these 2 cards. But again, what can we do with them? We only have 2 movement because we already used our Boots of Striding. We can use the Doom Compass now. Yeah, I think that's probably actually worth doing at this point. I wanted to try to save the Doom Compass for the boss fight, but I mean, these things are pretty annoying, and I'd rather not do anything here. I think that's pretty costly. And I don't know how good the Doom Compass is even going to necessarily be for the boss fight, so let's just go ahead and use that. So during your turn, force an enemy within range 5 to perform move 2 action with you controlling the action. So we're just going to move one of you here. I guess we're not doing that significant. I mean, we're basically doing this to deal 2 damage to it. So we're using the Doom Compass for 2 direct damage to a Wind Demon. Yeah, that's probably okay. I mean, these things are pretty tough to kill. I think not missing out on this opportunity is good. So then we're going to use the bottom of unstable upheaval as a default move 2, going here and grabbing this coin. And then we're going to use the top of Heating Swing, making an attack 3, targeting Frost or Wind Demon number 1, and we will be using the push. Okay, so 4, but this has 4 shield, 3 default, plus 1 for this turn. We push it here, takes 2 direct damage from breaking the obstacle, down to 8. And we gain 1 more experience. Alright, Night Demon goes. Actually doesn't create the dark now, interestingly enough, because it is stunned as well as immobilized. So there's that at least. And then we get our long rest on the Diviner. Refresh both of these and choose a card to lose. At this point, the pulling Rift thing is just kind of pointless. I don't, like, once I'm fighting the boss, I'm going to care about damage more than CC. And so, like, the double Rift combo was just more or less for this room and this room. And we're already kind of like halfway through this room anyway. So, not halfway, but well enough. Can the Cragheart afford a long rest? Yeah, probably. I think we're all right to do that. So, again, the Night Demons have a 1 in 8 of doing a ranged attack. So it's not too threatening. The initiative is a bit of an issue here, though. Because I'd like to do the Immobilize Wound Rift here. Means I need to move up and make an attack, which can just be done with this, I suppose. Yeah, this seems alright. I mean, initiative is an issue. We can go down to 13. They have like 3 cards that go before that, though, which is not great. So I suppose we should do these 2 cards. Again, we get to create ice once again. Again and again. And we also get to stun something. This allows us to potentially stun this if we need to. Gives us flexibility one way or the other. Nope, 41, so that's good. Ooh, these things do have wind. That's annoying. All right. Well, the Mindthief's up first, so we definitely don't want to all get smashed up by the wind demons. So hit here, stun this one. Yeah, that seems okay. Yeah, then they can't easily all hit us. All right, sure. So we're going to use the bottom of Dark Frenzy, gain 1 experience, and create ice. We do a move 3, attack 3, range 3. 1, 2, 3 to here. And we'll attack Night Demon number 4. We're attacking the Night Demon because it's only attack 3, and these things have 3 shields, so it makes more sense to just attack the Night Demon. Disadvantage, unfortunately. Alright, still fine. So we get 4 damage to the Night Demon, putting it down to 11. The Immobilized Wound thing isn't good here. I'm actually an idiot, because this is still just going to come up here and attack, because the Cragheart's long resting. This was dumb. This was dumb. It's really annoying. All right, well, I mean, there's nothing we can do about it now. So then we're going to consume the old ice with Frigid Apparition, gaining 1 experience. We're going to make an attack 5 stun, targeting Wind Demon number 5. Okay, so we do 3 damage, or 2 damage, down to 8, and it's stunned. Okay, so then we go. So yeah, this is a lot worse. So how is that thing moving right now? So it's going to consume wind. It has +1 attack and makes a giant AoE. So is there any way we can try to immobilize it meaningfully? Like this, since this... I mean, I guess immobilizing this still has some value, although not even so much because it can go before us the following turn. If we put the Rift... So how is this going to move right now? So as of right now, it actually can't hit 2 enemies regardless, so it's actually just going to attack from where it is and hit the Cragheart. Oh no, it'll try to go here to hit both of them. All right, so that actually is good then. Yeah, because if it goes to here, yep, from this spot here, since it consumes wind, it makes its giant attack. From this spot here, it can hit both of these. So this actually does work. So if we place the immobilized rift here, because this will go here or here, we place the rift here, we can choose again its path. It'll go here, get immobilized and wounded. And then it'll just attack the Cragheart. And this will still go attack the Cragheart. Cragheart's gonna take a fair amount of damage here, which is not great, but so if we move here, then it can go to here and hit both of us. So we need to actually not move up. It's a little bit annoying. Sure though. So we're gonna use Dimensional Divide, placing a rift And immobilize Wound Rift there. Yeah, if we go here, it only needs to go here. Hits both of us. And it would do that before going here, so that doesn't work. So I guess, oops, it's supposed to be here, right? I guess we're just moving to here, which is fine. Using the bottom of this, no reason to Endurance Potion. All right, when demons go. So this one, like I said, moves to here, gets immobilized and wounded. Oh yeah, it does still hit the Mindthief there. You're right, because it just puts it down like this. It's actually really annoying. So there's not. Yeah, I don't know why I'm being stupid. Well, I do know I'm being stupid. I'm blaming heat. So actually I can just move up, and then the two of us get hit, and I don't worry about doing it to that, and I just do it to the Night Demon instead. I mean, well, anyway, I still place this here, and I just don't try to get this thing. And so this will go here and hit the two of us. I'd actually rather it hit us rather than the Mindthief, because the Mindthief's taking more damage. We have more health. All right, so now this doesn't even need to move, right? Yeah, we can just hit the two of us from where it is. So it's the Cragheart and the Diviner at +1 attack. So this is going to be attack 4, first on the Diviner, actually, then on the Cragheart. Okay. So 4 damage to each of us. Good thing we got some healing ready. Then the Night Demon goes, moves to here, gets wounded and immobilized. And creates dark and attacks for 7 on the Cragheart. Would love to see a curse here. So 6. All right, down to 5. And then we get our long rest. Yeah, we messed up pretty badly with this turn. Heal for 2, get to choose a card to lose. Well, I have to keep all the healing, absolutely, at this point. That's kind of non-optional. So I guess we're just going to have to accept losing some of the movement. And try to just do it with what we've got. This is lost and stunned. All right, well, we need to run away from this thing quickly so the immobilize actually prevents it from attacking. Mindthief has ice, so we could actually theoretically just push it. Really run up and do an attack which pushes it in case it goes before the Cragheart can go. That works. I think that's just a fine card to use here anyway. So what is old Craggy doing then? I guess using Rock Slide is pretty good here. If we push this... Ah, technically we couldn't have put a rock here last time. We actually blocked off this section of the room. Oh no, we placed the rock here. Oops, yeah. So we can't place a rock there. So if we push this 1, 2, 3 to there, placing a rock here works. So like rock here, rock down here. Yeah, all right, that seems all right. No need to strengthen ourselves this turn then. So rock slide, and I guess just disable upheaval for early initiative as well. Okay, and then what is the Diviner doing? So we have Dark, which isn't bad to use in case they do the ranged attacks. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're just gonna probably hit 2 things with this, and use this to stack another deck. Don't really have anything else very effective to do here. The Disarm Rifts are really difficult to use in this situation. It's not very easy to predict where we could put one, because we don't know whether things are gonna move or not, so yeah, it's kind of annoying. Alright, see you, Vidisant. And I don't really want to mess with decks while we're still attacking things which give disadvantage. It's just too frustrating. All right, well, we would have beat your initiative anyway, and you're doing, well, you don't have wins. It's kind of okay. All right, well, regardless, we should probably still hit this. At the same time, now the Cragheart can actually just move away from it, and we know that it's not doing anything dangerous. Yeah, that actually works. If we push it to there. Oh, but she wants to not move. So we can push it to here. It'd be nice to have it next to the Night Demon, because the Night Demon's actually going to do 1 direct damage to all adjacent allies and enemies, but it's pretty good if we can I mean, we'll still get all the damage on them with a Rock Slide Boulder here. We'll get to move away then with a Cragheart, so we don't actually need to push this, because I'd probably rather just attack one of these here. Otherwise, if we like go down here first, we push 1, 2, 3. Yeah, well, it still works actually. We just go rock there, rock there. Doesn't actually matter that it's adjacent to the Diviner, because, I mean, the Diviner's not moving, but this thing's ranged anyway, so it's always going to hit someone. It doesn't change actually anything. So yeah, that actually works. All right, so let's use the bottom of Cranium Overload. Moving here, I suppose, or here is fine even. 1, 2, 3 like that, yeah. And then we attack with the top of Fearsome Blade. We gain 1 experience. We're going to consume the ice with the Frigid Blade. So this gives us an attack 6, push 3. We will be using the push, targeting Wind Demon number 5. Okay, so there's 3 actual damage, putting it down to 5, and 1, 2, 3 to there. Okay, then we're up on the Cragheart. So we're going to use the top of Rock Slide, creating Earth, gaining 1 experience, dropping some rocks. So we're going to drop a rock here. Token still there. Yeah, I think this is fine. Here, this way we get damage on all of them. And probably just a throwaway rock at this point. I don't know that I necessarily want more rocks in here. Also, it's difficult to place anything that wouldn't hurt the Mindthief. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll just place 1 like here. Okay, so we get 2 damage to each of these things. And then we use the bottom of Unstable Upheaval as a default move too, going 1, 2 to here. Okay, so then the Night Demon goes. He's going to consume. I guess we get to choose. Do I want Earth next turn? I guess he's making dark anyway, so we can just have him consume the dark to create dark. Gives us more choices. And all adjacent allies and enemies suffer 1 damage. So, and he takes 1 from his wound, so down to 8. Loses the immobilize, and both of these take 1 as well, which is pretty good for us. Okay, so then the Wind Demons go. So this one's attacking the Diviner and then the Cragheart. These are attack 2s. So Diviner's down to 4. We are hurting, without a doubt. And 2 here, down to 5. And then the other one will actually need to move to lose disadvantage. So it can move 1. So let's see. Where all can it go? So it needs, actually if it goes there, 1, 2, 3, 4, that actually works, right? Yep. That's only 1 movement. Can hit the Diviner and can hit the Cragheart because it has 4 range. Yep. All right, so Diviner first. That's good. And then the Cragheart. All right, we'll take it. Definitely happy to get no damage here. And then we go on the Diviner. Ooh, nice. So now when we get a nice call, well, first we'll use the bottom priority in the path. We'll consume the dark, gain 1 experience, and we get to stack a deck again. So which deck do I care to stack at this point? I mean, looking at the Night Demons deck in this fighting is probably useful. I kind of want something for the future, but I think the Night Demons here is actually probably the most valuable. Again, this is just a really threatening deck, so let's do that. Yep, and that's exactly why. I can only put 1 of them on bottom though, right? And I can't go faster than that in initiative. Ugh. This card. Like again here, putting 1 away doesn't do anything. Since both of these go before we can possibly go, unless we short rest early on the Mindthief now. Maybe it's worth it to just not get hit by that Elite Night Demon. Because otherwise we are 100% getting hit by it. There's nothing we can do about that. Well, unless we... Oh no, we can immobilize it with weighted net. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's get rid of this one, because definitely don't want to see this again. Put that on the bottom. And then we'll put this back on top. All right. Weighted net has been good for us. Okay, and then we're going to use call of... Oh, no. I forgot that we're creating dark. So we need to grab the bottom card off. I tried to not look. Saw that's a reshuffle, but should be okay. Knowing that there's 1 reshuffle on the bottom doesn't change much. because we'll always get to the other reshuffle before we get to that one. So I guess I actually need to put this one on the bottom then. Yeah. And this one back on top. Oops. Oh, we've made a mess of this deck. No, because we... Darn it. So we put it on top originally, yeah. We've got like too many things. Oh, no, so we just grabbed that one off the top. Okay, we're good now. Whew. So this goes back on top, and we keep our extra copy up here to remember what they're doing. All right. That works. So then we use the top of Call of the Nether, creating Dark. We do an attack 0, range 3, curse. We'll do 5, 1, and then the Night Demon all in that order. And on the Night Demon, we will use the weighted net to immobilize. So, Demon, and the Night Demon with disadvantage. Okay. So 1 damage on the Night Demon. There we go. Hallelujah. Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of perks still, too, but our modifier deck just isn't good enough to justify this card. This card's really, I think, only good if you have a reasonable lineage. I mean, here it was 3 perks. I mean, sorry, 3 curses. So that actually is good. I don't know. I had mixed emotions. I mean, like here, but the thing is, this is like the best case that we've ever gotten for it. I mean, we've had this happen a couple times, but this is like the top 10% easily, and definitely not representative. And still, all we got here were 3 curses, which is still very good for a top, but that's still our best case. And our worst case, like as we saw before, is much worse. Again, like I said, I think the card is quite good if you have like 8 or 9 or more modifiers. How many are we at right now? Our perks. Yeah, we're at 7. No, some more than that. Yeah, probably like 10 plus perks, I think. Then it can be quite good, but from the beginning of a campaign, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough. All right. And so we did use the weighted net on the Night Demon, so the Night Demon's immobilized again. Weighted net, on the other hand, has been quite good. Okay. So we're going to play these 2 cards. We'll see what we do with them. We did not recreate ice last turn, did we? No. So us can kind of do whatever we want. We do have dark. We could stack a deck. Stacking a deck for Wind Demon attack maybe isn't a bad thing to do. And we can use this bottom to immobilize the Night Demon again. Yeah, that's probably fine. Problem is the Night Demon does its ranged attack, which actually there's a decent chance it can have coming up. Then we can't run away faster. So I don't know how useful immobilizing is, but also draws us modifiers. I think that's fine. All right, so Cragheart's gonna strengthen ourselves and definitely attack with Massive Boulder here. Which health do you and you have? Not easy to kill you, unfortunately. Not as easy as we'd like, at least. All right, sure, let's go. This will do. They didn't create a win last turn, no, okay. So Night Demon's up first, creates a new dark. It's immobilized, it doesn't attack anyone, takes 1 damage from its wound down to 6. At least the wound has done a lot of work. All right, and then we're up on the Mindthief. Do a move 4 jump with feedback loop. But if we use our boots, we can go further. I think we will use our boots because we probably want a long rest soon anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. And then we're going to attack the Wind Demon with the top of Hostile Takeover as a default attack. All right, nice. So this Wind Demon's down. All we had to do is get a +1 on this attack, which is, again, a pretty reasonable expectation with our deck at this point in order to be able to kill it, which is the reason why we use a default attack there. Because our attack is a 4, and again, our deck is on average certainly +1 or better. Okay, so that takes care of that. So next up is Cragheart's. So we're going to use Blunt Force, gain 1 experience, creating Earth again. We've got to move 2, giving ourselves a bunch of Retaliate. I mean, its range is 3, so there's no real advantage to moving away. So let's just move to like here. We get strengthened. And we're going to attack the Night Demon, because attacking here, this is 3 shield, and we're making an attack 3. Yeah, we have advantage, so we probably do like 1 damage, but attacking this, we do 1 damage to splash here anyway. So it's just better to do the splash on the shielded enemy and make the actual attack on the enemy with more health. I mean, sorry, with where the damage is more direct. Unfortunately, it does negate our advantage, but it's still fine. Okay. So 3 is 4 to the Night Demon. So now we only need to get a +0 on the Diviner, and we will kill the Night. I mean, the Night Demon will die to its wound. We won't have to worry about it. Of course, we'll get a -1 because all those -1s we have in our deck, but still. All right, Diviner's up. So we're going to begin by using the bottom of Void Snare, gaining 1 experience. We're going to make an attack 1 on both of these. First the Night Demon and then the Wind Demon. Come on. Yeah, I guess let's actually use our goggles as well to try to, again, it's so important to get a +0 here. All right, so Night Demon first. Come on. And then the Wind Demon. Yeah, of course we chose the wrong ordering. So if we'd done the Wind Demon first, we would have flipped that, and then we would have gotten the +1 on the Night Demon. God, that's such a big difference. Because if it does its ranged attack now, this is so much worse for us. God. Classic. Alright, well anyway, this is immobilized, this is immobilized, we didn't deal any damage. We could have stacked our own deck, but that's definitely not where we want to be at. Then we're going to consume the dark, gain 1 experience, and we get to do some deck stacking. Well, actually I'd wanted to deck stack the Mindthief, but since we're getting a reshuffle there, there's no point. So we look at the top 4 here, we can put up to 2 on the bottom. I think I'm happy with +1s, to be honest. Especially because of like having to make disadvantage attacks against this idiot. So I'm just going to put the +0 on the bottom. Actually, it's annoying that I put stuff on the bottom and now I have to like... I wish there was a way to deal from the bottom of the deck. I imagine there is, but I don't know how to. Because actually, the +0 is fine. But there's no way for me to grab this without seeing what's on the bottom. But I don't want to mess with the order. I mean, I guess it's my own fault. I'm going to mess with the order. There we go. Because I actually want the +0 as well, I realize. Because I just need to do a tiny amount of damage to this Night Demon. And it's going to be us since the Mindthief is going to long rest. Okay, Wind Demon goes +1 attack and is attacking... Ooh, the Diviner? Oh. Uh-oh. That's not great. Yeah, that's not great, but that is actually... Wait, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yep. That is what's happening, attacking the Diviner. -1? Alright, whew. So -1 +1 seems to 3 damage at the end, so we don't have to lose a card. Definitely rather be at 1 here. To know if it's possible? If what's possible? Oh, to deal from the bottom of the deck. Gotcha. Yep, I understand. Sorry, it was the delay. All right, that's the end of the round. Like I said, we're definitely long resting on the Mindthief. We need life back. We also want our Boots of Striding back. And we're going to play our 2 cards here and see what they do. And we're going to... I guess Rumbling Advance even just kills the Night Demon. The problem is we don't know what the Night Demon's initiative is. It's ranged... It is immobilized. So its range attack is at 26. So we just have to go before 26. I guess that works with this. This can be an attack. And we can also get direct damage. That works. This is no longer immobilized, by the way. Okay, here we go. 35, that's fine. All right, so it's a little bit annoying, but it's all right. Because we can't actually get the 1 direct damage with Rolling Advance on the Wind Demon, which is where we really want it, because we would actually kill the Diviner. Okay, so instead what we're going to do is we're going to use the bottom of Rumbling Advance. We're just going to move to here, which gives us 1 direct damage on this. This is the most important 1 direct damage anyway, because now this automatically dies to its wound, which is super valuable. And I'm going to create Earth. And then we're going to use the top here as a move 1. We're going to use plus our Boots of Striding, so we get move 3, 1, 2 to there. We're going to attack the Wind Demon with an attack 4 with advantage, targeting Wind Demon number 1. Oh, yeah, so I guess it didn't matter so much that we kept the +0 down. Well, I guess since we're advantaged, it kind of, this way we didn't waste a +1. Yeah, it kind of worked out anyway. Okay, so we flip this and this. So our 4 gets +1 is 5. So that's 2 actual damage down to 2. Okay. Wind Demon goes, creates wind, moves 1 away. I guess we'll choose to have it move to there, actually. And attacks the Cragheart for 3. Okay. Yeah, we need some healing. We get pulled to here. Night Demon goes, dies to its wound. So just delete this now. You're eliminated. And then the Diviner goes. Well, we don't have range to attack on top is the annoying thing. This bottom heal is actually quite reasonable though, right? The regenerate here would actually be really good. I mean, we need a lot of healing. I guess we also need healing personally, but still, getting regenerate on the Cragheart could represent a lot of health gained. The annoying thing is that we just don't do anything on top. Otherwise, if we use this top, which just lets us look at 3 cards, then we can still make an attack on bottom. Although the attack on bottom is also not really doing anything, so I think this is actually still just better. So let's use the bottom Peer into battle. We create light, and we do heal 1, affect all allies, regenerate. So 1 healing here, 1 healing here, and they both get regen. Okay, and we get a long rest on the Mindthief, so we refresh this, we heal for 3, 1 from the regen, 2 from the long rest, and we get to choose what to lose. Can we afford to bring back the Mind's weakness here? Wouldn't be bad too. Yeah, we actually can, because worst case scenario, we can just stun it with Perverse Edge. So the thing is, we actually want to spend a fair amount of time preparing for the next room, which basically means healing up the wounded people, stacking decks, stuff like this. And the Mind Thief doesn't really do anything to prepare at all anymore. I mean, theoretically, we can like make attacks with Silent Scream, but it's difficult. In fact, we might actually make an attack with Silent Scream here because we can simply So we're actually going to bring back the Mind's weakness. There we go. Because we lost Empathetic Assault, we really don't have any prep cards left. So what are we losing then? Silent Scream is kind of an obvious thing to lose, but like I said, we can actually attack with Silent Scream here and just stun the Wind Demon and essentially just like sort of buy a turn of healing, which allows us to do something. I mean, it's a heal 2, which isn't great, but it's probably better than nothing. I think we can just lose this. Immobilize, like, CC doesn't matter so much anymore. What we want is movement and damage, essentially, for when we're going to boss fight. I think the boss is immune to Immobilize. Yeah, boss is immune to Immobilize, so it's not really effective CC at that point. Okay, so you are going to long rest. You can even just kill. You can't actually, because we can't push into an obstacle from where it is. That's annoying. Are we still strength? And no, we're not. But we've only got 1 turn of healing anyway, so we might as well just make our attack now. Just like attack with this and hope to get a plus. Oh, we will get a +1. So if we get 1 damage from the Mindthief, which actually isn't that much of a guarantee, but I mean, regardless, we're getting +1 damage here, so that's all right. I mean, so this is worth doing, and then next turn we'll heal. So in that case, should the Mindthief not? No, we still should do this. Stun it. They have win, but I believe their invis is at 9 initiative. If it's at 7, I'm going to be really unhappy here. What if we take a ton of time? Because we could actually... No, then the initiative doesn't work. Yeah, I think it's worth getting heal 2. I mean, the Cragheart needs a ton of healing, so I think any heal 2 is fairly worthwhile. Okay, let's do it. All right, Mindthief's up first. We're going to begin by using the top of Silent Scream. We gain 1 experience. We activate this. This gives us an attack 2 where we get a heal 2 range 2. So we'll do the heal 2 range 2. So we also heal 1 from a region. Heal 2 range 2 on the Cragheart. Cragheart's up to 5. And then we make simply an attack 2 with this. So we'd like to see a +2 here. Nope, not quite. All right, then we're going to use the bottom Perverse Edge, gaining 1 experience, creating ice. We're going to make an attack 1 range 3 stun with disadvantage. Yeah, now we get that, of course. All right, well, you're stunned. Wind Demon goes, loses the stun. Cragheart goes. Oh, we actually can kill here. We waste our +2. We're going to do a fair amount of deck stacking. I think that's okay. All right, yeah, because we can actually do the bottom of Heaving Swing here. Add +1 to all your range attacks this round, and then the top of Crater. We'll actually consume the Earth, gaining 1 experience. We won't use the push, though. So we make an attack 4 with Crater with disadvantage. So we flip 2, which gives us a +1, so 5. 3 shield, so it's dead. All right, that works out perfectly. And we heal 1 from our region. Yep, thank you. And then the Diviner takes a long rest. Refresh this, heal for 2. Choose a card to lose, and again, we're just going to get rid of our Disarm Rift. Disarm Rift is definitely one of our better cards, but at this point, it's not going to be super valuable. I mean, I guess Dimensional Divide's also just our only move 4 still, so. Yep, where are you? Disarm Rift, there you are. Okay. So, Craggy, gonna move a bunch and do some healing. Diviner, we need to create light so we can then deck stack afterwards. So let's create light with this. Healing our Craggykins. We should definitely pick up all these coins while we're at it. So, oh, we can't actually create dark. We'll have to use a potion. That's fine. I mean, we've got a couple potions. That's not that big of a deal. So we create light, healing Craggy for 4, and then the following turn we use this. So the other card, and then we also want to make, so like, following turn we use this, and I guess something to move a fair amount. There's also this bottom, but I don't care so much about that. So we want to keep this and this. That's a given. I guess we can just play this to throw away here. Default move 2 gets us on top of a coin, which is not bad. So what's the Mindthief up to now? I mean, we can just milk experience by setting up augments. This also gives us 1 experience. Although we're probably, I guess we might not long rest before we go into the rooms. We should actually save this for the end because this can set up ice before we go in. So we'll play something like this and this for now because I think we're going to pick up that coin, which is up top, which is topside. All right, here we go. Let's do these things. You've been eliminated. So up first on the Mindthief, I'm going to gain 1 experience by activating feedback loop. Mindthief definitely wants experience because we want to get to level 7, level 8 as quickly as possible. Move there with the bottom of this as a default move. Okay. What was our thing again? Oh, we've already failed this. Yep. And the Diviner... the Diviner did actually kill 1 enemy, right? No, the Diviner's killed 2 enemies. The Diviner killed the Frost Demon in here. And the Diviner's Wound, which again, we do play with Wound giving kill credit, as is mentioned below. The Wound was actually what killed the Night Demon here, and it was us who gave the Wound. So yeah, we actually only can kill 1 more thing. Alright, we failed ours. That's fine. And yeah, that's for the end of the scenario. Okay. So then the Cragheart goes. We're going to use the top of, so we heal 1 from regen. We're going to heal 2 more on ourselves and 2 on the Diviner. And we're going to use the bottom of Explosive Punch as a move 4. 2, 3, 4 to there. Okay, and the Diviner goes. This is range 3, but if we go there, we have range 3. Yep, that works. So we're on the Diviner, we're going to use the bottom of Call of the Nether as a default move 2, going to here. Finally getting some coins. And then we're going to use the top of Ray of Light to heal 4, affect 1 ally within range 3. So we create light, and we heal the Cragheart for 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's the end of the round. So the Cragheart will long rest. Us, like I said, we're going to deck stack. And which of these cards we play doesn't really matter so much. Looks like we're going to always have 2 more turns here of setting up, so that's fine. It's important to be prepared. Guess I can save this for later. Just moving 2 here is fine, I think. So in that case, we'll just play like this card. Okay, and as for you, again, we want to save this. Guess we can set this up now. And move a bunch. All right, here goes. So we move 5, and we gain 1 experience, activating the Mind's Weakness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. Okay, Diviner goes. We perform a default move 2 at the bottom of Duality Shards. 1, 2 to here. And then we use the top up here into battle, consuming light, gaining 1 experience. We look at the top 5 cards of a deck and put them back in any order. Yeah. So here we actually have a higher probability of finding the crit for the Cragheart at this point. Cragheart also doesn't have many good cards left. I mean, we're 5 out of 8 to find the crit, which definitely I think is better than the 5 out of 11 here. So let's do the Craggy. Ooh, well. Okay. So we don't need advantage anytime soon then. This is what this tells us. I think I want +1 and +2, or is it better just to go +2 into crit? +2 into crit would allow it. Yeah, +2 into crit's actually probably going to be the correct choice because that allows us to go into a blunt force quite early here. We can blunt force for 16. Yeah, that's got to be worth it. So like we'll go in with a 5 and then we go after that with 16. That's 21 damage in 2 turns for the Cragheart. This is what I mean, and what Marcel means by saying that the diviner does damage by modifying dex. Like here, I mean, we were going to get the crit anyway, but now knowing when we have the crit allows us to use blunt force specifically when that's going to happen. All right. So the only question is, do we keep the +1? So if we kept the +1, that would basically mean we would need to wait one more turn before doing blunt force, which is okay because we're still getting a +1, which is a pretty good outcome for our deck. But I'm not sure if it's necessary. I mean, the reason to do this though is because if we're gonna use blunt force top, we're not gonna be using blunt force bottom anymore. So we're not gonna have strengthen anymore. So +1 is actually a pretty good outcome for us. The problem is the risk of the altar moving too much, because when we go in, the altar will be here. It'll move. Typically, every turn it's moving, I believe. What are your specials? Throne moves, yeah. So we've got a 6 out of 8 that the throne's moving every time. Oops. So the issue is if it makes it to here. I guess we should put this on top of this, huh? What? No, on top of you. All right. So what? If we go like here onto the door, we make an attack through range 3. Then we can move, and then it jumps to here. Then we move to here and attack, but the issue is it can potentially get away, which is risky. Yeah, +1 is also good. God. The issue is it can move on faster initiatives than we can go, or slower initiatives than we can go, which can make planning around it difficult. I wish I knew how much health it had. I guess it's probably the same health as the boss, right? So 20 times C, although this might actually be misleading because um the scenario level is actually 1 lower. So if it's based on the scenario level, then it'll actually be a little bit lower than this because the scenario level is 5. It's just monsters and traps are at 6 since we're playing solo. So it's at 60 health or maybe a little bit lower. I mean, theoretically, knowing that we're going to do 21 damage over 2 turns should be enough because we're doing like basically a third of its health if it's at 60. The issue is, again, the Diviner's not going to do much damage. Like realistically, Diviner has like 5 or 8 damage to it. So while the Mindthief might be able to match that, the Diviner's not even close. So we're going to need 3 turns of attacking it. So yeah, let's take the +1 then. All right, so like this. So you, and you, and you. All right. And then we get our long rest. Oh, sorry. And we use our mana potion to create dark. And we get our long rest on the Cragheart. Time to lose a card. Do we want another turn of healing? So we heal for 3 actually here. 1 from our regen, 2 from our long rest. So we're basically back up to full. The only thing is we can still heal the Diviner a bit, which wouldn't be the worst. Did we? But yeah, no, we have an odd hand size. That's correct. So we can actually endurance potion something back if we want to. Should we have endurance this back? Maybe, but I'm not sure. So do we want one more setup turn? Yeah, we do want one more setup turn. So that means a heal is fine. So, but I think we can still just get rid of... So we could keep this, but this is only healing 2. This actually heals for 4, which is so much better. The cost of playing this is that we lose the bottom, but it's only 1 damage against the boss. That's not super useful. So, and we're not going to want Nature's Lift anymore anyway. So yeah, let's get rid of this. Okay. So Mindthief is playing these 2 cards, and it sure doesn't matter too much. We're going to play this, stacking the Mindthief deck. And the other card we play is just going to be a default. Is that actually true? Do we want to play this the turn we enter the room? This bottom is fine, so we would have this top. You and allies move 2. Yeah, that actually can be useful. Maybe. I think it's worth getting it back. We'll see. Okay. So Cragheart is healing her. What is another card that we don't immediately want? Honestly, I guess Rock Slide's probably not going to be very good. The move 6 can be interesting, but if we need to go here to attack next turn, we can't really Rock Slide from there, because like from here, Rock Slide is move 4 or even 5, which is interesting. No, I think we can actually just play away Rock Slide. I mean, I guess 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. So yeah, we want an Endurance Potion regardless. All right, well, that's fine. Or should we try to Endurance Potion this during combat then as a move? Yeah, maybe we should. I think losing Rock Slide here is fine. Again, it's only 2 direct damage. All right, so here goes our turn. Oops. So it's actually the Mindthief is up first. We're going to gain 1 experience and create ice. Moving 1, 2, 3 to here, I guess. Cragheart's not gonna be able to move all the way. Oh no, we can actually use Rockside to move. Yeah, that works. Yeah, it works. All right, and we're not doing anything with the other half. Cragheart goes. We create Earth. We do a heal 4, range 2 on the Diviner. We also heal 1 from our regen. Yeah, the regen was quite valuable here. So Diviner's up to 9, which is good. And then we use the bottom Rockside as a move 6. This movement must be in a straight line. Go to here. So we can step onto the door easily. And the Diviner goes. So yeah, I'm going to play the bottom of this as a default move 2. And Endurance Potion it back. Yeah, I think this top can do something. Can it really, though? Is that really what I want to be doing? The turn I enter the room? Not really. Like, playing these 2 cards, it doesn't do much. This isn't doing anything against the boss. We need to be making attacks. This card's fine to keep. No, I actually don't want Endurance Potion this card back, to be honest. Even though it gives me an extra turn here, it's not an extra turn of doing something useful, and the next turn is the turn we go in, so. Alright, and we use the top of Anticipate Intricacies, we gain 1 experience, and we look at the top 4 cards here, and we can put up to 2 on the bottom, and the rest back in any order. Yeah, we'll put this on the bottom. We'll keep the rest of these. This is all fine. I mean, yeah, obviously we'd like to see our crit at some time soon, but +1s are still good enough. There's still like a reasonable amount of reliable damage. So you go away, and I mean, I'd rather just have the +2 sooner. Okay, so that's that. End of the round. So short rest for the Mindthief, I think, because this lets us keep the ice up. Yeah, because we're going to go in this turn. And we short rest here as well. It's not completely optimal, but again, having the ice is just 2 more damage, and every point of damage matters. Oh, these should be refreshed as well. And everyone else is ready here, so no reason to waste. I mean, well, Cragheart's ready, and the ice is ready. Like, a lot of stuff is ready. We can't stack decks anymore. So just, this makes sense. All right, we're going in. So we're going to have a short rest on both of them. All right, so be it. That's still the second worst card to lose. I mean, all right, let's be honest here for a second. So this actually is kind of costly because if we manage to get a crit, like put a crit on top, this can be an attack 14. It's 1 more damage than our other attacks on top are. The only card that we care about keeping more than that is specifically this. Even movement isn't such a big deal because we still got to move 4 and move 5. So basically, if we reroll, there's 1 card that would be worse to lose. But it would be significantly worse to lose. This adds significantly more damage per rest cycle than this does. I mean, like, God, TTS is actually getting in my head now. Mathematically, I should re-roll this, I believe. I mean, like, I'm actually supposed to re-roll this, but I'm just so confident that I re-roll and I hit Dark Frenzy. It's not a catastrophic thing like losing the Mind's Weakness would be, but it's the difference between this and one of these cards isn't as big as the difference between this and this. That being said, it's only a 1 out of 6, so that's why I should re-roll, but I mean, at some point you just have to accept what TTS does, right? Yeah, I think that's fine to lose at this point. I mean, I do still want some deck stacking, but I still got the one other deck stacking card. And the biggest thing is I can't afford to lose my move 4. Oh, I guess I have the move 4, but I also actually really want to keep the attack. So I think this is fine to lose. I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice, but it's not that big of a deal, I think. All right, so we can't play this bottom. We're going to bust into the room. We have Earth, so we can actually just go ahead and attack with Crater this turn. We don't need to bust in with a ton of movement. Oh, we do have the crit. So we've also still got this attack, which is actually a higher damage attack. So that's interesting as well. So what are we looking at for attacks? It's like Crater into Kinetic Assault Blunt Force. Yeah, it seems reasonable. So in that case, can we just use this? Because we're gonna have good enough initiatives on the other 2 turns. I'm not sure we actually need this, but we want these 2 cards for movement. I could also use this, but then my initiative actually really sucks this turn. But I mean, my initiative doesn't matter so much if I'm the one to open the door. So can everyone else play around that? The Diviner. So no, sorry. The Diviner was supposed to have moved 2 Lester. And I was like, why is the Diviner so far back? We got caught up on the fact that we weren't endurance potioning it, but regardless, we were playing it as a default move 2. So if we do our move 2 on bottom, we can't actually reach the altar unless it teleports out. If we go late, we have a decent chance of getting it to teleport out, but I don't think that's quite what we want to do. At the same time, I don't really want to teleport in and then have lost my teleport movement. Teleport to any hex and any occupies within 5 hexes view. So this can work afterwards then to come back out if we use this when we go in. I want to keep this card for the top because basically, I mean, what are my top actions here? This is certainly one of my top actions. That's a given. This is a bottom action. So I'm always playing this top, this bottom. So at that point, like 2 more top actions, not a lot really that's that great. So it definitely, this should be one of my top actions, right? So that's like one of the 2. So this just leaves us with one more choice. Is the boss immune to curse? The boss is not immune to curse, but the altar will be. So we would still only get 1 curse by doing this top, which kind of sucks. And maybe 1 damage to the altar, but with our modifier deck, not really very reliable. So honestly, if anything, it's more likely we play this top at some point, because movement does actually matter a bit here. So that leaves us with these 2 bottoms, essentially. The nice thing about this is that it gives us enough movement to go make an attack on the altar this turn. If the altar doesn't TP out before us. Altar has what, 3 out of 8 to TP out before we go, if we go at like 30 or 43 or whatever. But the problem is then if we... Not having Boots of Striding is the worst. It really, really is. I think it's supposed to be misprinted, right? They can't both be the same. I guess we'll see soon enough. I mean, I guess if we're the one to open the door, we can actually go invisible on the door. But the annoying thing is, again, from the door, we can't actually attack. Unless we attack with this. Yeah, I guess that makes sense then. We just attack with this, moving on to the door. I guess at that point, with just like this, that goes before the 57s. This works. Because then, yeah, we still got this top, so this works. All right. So Cragheart, we've already set up your turn, which is also fine. Going invis on the door is just nice because it blocks the boss from coming to attack. So we also need to go later. How much movement do we need to make it to the altar? If it doesn't move, we need 3 movement. If it does move, none. So either of these work. 3 movement with this is nice. What are we attacking with on top? Honestly, just like this works. This gives us late initiative. And lets us make an attack on bottom. But it'll be disadvantaged attack on bottom. That's annoying. I don't love that, actually. Now I'll have such, like, the 2+2s on the top of my deck. At the same time, no, because she might not stack our deck next turn. No, I don't want to make a disadvantage attack just yet, I think. So in that case, I could actually move with this instead of moving with that other card. And then what are we attacking with? It doesn't matter too much. I guess we can just use this because the initiative from here isn't ever useful. A 27 is not like a reliable initiative for anything. All right, let's go. It's time to bust in and try to take down this boss. All right. All this set up for this moment. Oops. So we're going to use the bottom of Preordaining the Path as default move 2. 1, 2. Let's see what is going on in here. So actually I need another page. All right. The Prime Demon and the Altar share hit points, initiatives, and immunities. The Prime Demon cannot be damaged in any way. Instead, damage must be done to the Altar. The Altar jumps to the next hex in the order of okay, and then back to A. If the hex is occupied by a figure or another overlay tile, that figure or tile is moved to the nearest unoccupied hex. If the Altar moves to an unrevealed room, that room is immediately revealed, opening all doors between it and other revealed rooms. The Altar then summons 1 normal demon for 2 characters. Oh, so the difference is what's summoned. Okay, I see. The altar then summons one normal demon for 2 characters or one elite demon for 3 or 4 characters. Type depends on location and order. Okay. The prime demon then performs move +2, attack -1. So boss special 1 is the same, except it's normal for 3 characters. Okay. So this is really annoying. We actually have to do like the boss manually because there aren't enough slots. Which is the last one to come up? Frost. So for now, I guess I'm just going to remove the sun demons under the hope that I don't need them. Well, I mean, I probably will need them, but that I don't need them right now, and I do need the boss. So unfortunately, because the health for the altar is actually determined by the boss's card, not by scenario rules, the altar will actually have 60 health. This is a ton of damage to have to do with this party. All right, and so there's nothing else in the room except for ya boss man. I mean, I had no reason to set it there. Okay. So what are you doing? Ooh, altar's not moving. That is very fortunate for us. All right, well, a little bit of luck. I will not complain. All right, so then we stop here. We use the top of Call of the Nether, creating dark. Ooh, dark is interesting because then we can actually use Dark Frenzy top potentially. We need ice as well, though. We really need to find the crit. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. So we make an attack 0, range 3 curse. So this is actually interesting. Obstacles are typically immune to everything, but it says here that the Prime Demon cannot be damaged in any way. Instead, damage must be done to the altar. Oh, sorry. The Prime Demon and the altar share hit points, initiative, and immunities. Yeah, maybe. It would add more randomness. So Themis, I'm reading this correctly then, right? The altar actually can be cursed. So traditionally, obstacles are immune to conditions. But here, because the altar actually shares the immunities of the Prime Demon, this means that technically it actually loses some immunities by sharing his rather than having all immunities. Because he actually is not immune to curse, this means the altar is also not immune to curse, interestingly enough. Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, it seems to be the indication. But the annoying thing here is actually... Oh, no, this works. I do like this, right? Yeah, we can almost hit 2 things next to each other. This isn't hard. So again, 1, 2, 3. We create dark. We make an attack 0, range 3 curse. There's no reason. I mean, so I could use the goggles here, right? Because I'm theoretically attacking 2 targets, but attacking a second target doesn't add much here. No, so he actually can't be damaged. The Prime Demon and the altar share. The Prime Demon cannot be damaged in any way. Instead, damage must be done to the altar. We should double check the FAQ to make sure that this isn't just an improper wording, and it doesn't mean that he can't actually be affected by attack abilities or anything like this. But as it currently reads, this is what, 21, right? Typo under special rules, position of the altar should be F and not A. Also, the labels for the demon spawns are off. Oh, so the demon ordering is actually wrong here. Nice. Love it when the rulebook is correct. So we actually remove sun, which is second to last. So we'll have to try to remember these ordering. Actually, I'm just going to copy paste this into chat so I can see it more easily. So that's the actual ordering. The altar acts like a normal obstacle with hit points. Okay, never mind. So the FAQ actually does clarify it. God, the rulebook has so many mistakes for this scenario then. So first of all, special rules are incorrect because it should be F, not A. Secondly, the ordering for the summoning is off. Thirdly, the altar acts like a normal obstacle with hit points, i.e. immune to all negative conditions. Therefore, the and immunities is superfluous and should not be there. So, well, it's actually not superfluous. This is actually incorrect in the FAQ. It's not superfluous because superfluous would mean that it adds no additional information. But technically, that's not true here. It actually would seem to apply something which is completely different than being superfluous. It would actually remove immunities from the altar, or again, which was our reading, which I think is correct. So yeah, there are actually 3 mistakes for this scenario alone in the rulebook. So it actually is immune to all conditions. So we can't actually curse the altar. But the Prime Demon, however, is not immune to being attacked. He is just immune to damage. So I guess we're still only going to get 1 curse here in the end. So we attack both targets. We could use the goggles here because we're hitting 2 targets, but hitting 2 targets doesn't actually matter because we don't get damage on the Prime Demon. And so I'd rather use the goggles on like an attack 3, where it's more important to secure the attack not missing or potentially getting a crit, rather than an attack 0. So first the altar, then the Prime Demon. Okay. So unfortunately we don't get the curse there, but we do get a +2, so I'll take it. So 2 damage to the altar, no damage to the Prime Demon, and they get, again, 1 curse exactly. And 2 damage to the altar. We'll take every bit we can get. So we have nothing to pop here except for this. Like no potions. And we go Invis. It's really annoying that Invis doesn't properly work with this standee. Like the negative conditions working is really nice. The fact that Invis doesn't work is quite obnoxious. Alright, so the boss cannot find focus and does nothing. So next up, we have Yul Cragikins. Craggy heals 1 from the regen, and we're going to use the bottom of Heating Swing as a default move 2, 1, 2 to here, and then we're going to use the top of Crater, Consuming Earth, just to gain 1 experience, and making an attack 3, range 3, targeting the altar, +1, means 4 damage to the altar, down to 54. Okay, then the Mindthief goes, we're going to use the bottom of Feedback Loop as a move 4 jump, 1, 2, 3 to here, and then we're going to use the top of Fearsome Blade, gaining 1 experience, and making an attack 4 because of the Mind's weakness. We still had ice, so we consume ice. So 6 because of Frigid Blade, and boom. So this gives us 6 damage on the altar. Sorry, 8 damage on the altar. Sorry. We made an attack 4, plus consuming ice was +2 for Frigid Blade, +2 from the modifier is 6. Or is 8. There we go. So down to 46. And so we can go late. How useful is this? The annoying thing is we need to have enough movement, but we can actually make that work. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we've got Boots of Striding. Yeah, 3 is enough. Blade is not a consumable. No, the blade is amazing. The blade is amazing. I mean, like I said, it is probably the best item in the game for the Mindthief, to be honest. I mean, reasonably speaking. Obviously, like, there are some Prosperity 9 items that, but in terms of cost effectiveness, or in terms of like reasonable items that aren't just like, oh, you're Prosperity 9, you don't need to worry about difficulty in the game anymore. Anyway, yeah, I think we actually want to use our Invis Cloak here as well. This will allow the Diviner and the Mindthief to go really late this round, and for the boss not to hit anyone again. Because the Cragheart can attack and move out, going very early. Which will be done with Massive Boulder then. I guess we're missing out on 1 damage that way, but that's okay. No, technically we can even use Kinetic. Because then we can run with something else. Yeah, that works. Although the initiative's not going to be good enough. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the 13 initiative and just get 1 less attack. Don't think the 1 attack should be the difference maker here. Alright, anyway. That's that. Should I have used... I think I actually should. I mean, the Mindthief's the last one to go anyway, so I will actually use the Minor Mana Potion to create ice. I think this is actually worth it, because then we can actually do Dark Frenzy top here with this bottom. Move 3 is actually enough no matter what, because we can go 1, 2, 3 to make it to there. If the thing spawns here, I guess it will actually summon something here, but then we still have our Boots of Striding, so we can still do like, move to here or something, and we'll get to make a giant attack. Since we have this Dark anyway, so it makes sense to use the top of Dark Frenzy. The Dark can't be consumed by anything else this round, so this works. Hold on, does it spawn or summon? Because I guess something could actually consume it the turn it... Then summons. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't act the turn it comes. So nothing can consume our Dark this turn, so this is definitely a safe turn to try to go all in on this. Obviously, it would have been nicer to go all in on this when we had a crit on top, but so be it. This still looks pretty good. So we also want to go really late. So we're deck stacking without light, but I suppose that's okay? It's actually not very useful. I mean, whatever. Worst case scenario, we just use this as a default move. The goal is just to go after. And attack with this. Either way, if it's here or here, we should be able to attack it. Normally it will teleport, so. If I recall, when I played this in my campaign, we had 3 spears chilling with the boss in that back room the whole time while everyone else frantically chased the altar. Yeah, that's definitely possible. Yeah, I mean, this is unfortunate because now we're using our two tops together, so next turn we're not really gonna have a good top to do, kind of at all, but seems harder with fewer characters. I think it definitely is harder with fewer characters. It's also more random, right? The 3-player thing is that you have 50% chance that they're regulars, 50% chance that they're elites that are spawned. So like if you get elites every time, then it's actually the exact same amount of spawning difficulty. Like I mean, whereas if you get regulars every time, then it's the same as 2. Like the 2 versus 4 here, it's like 2 versus 4 theoretically balanced, but I think no matter what, this is always just easier with 4 because honestly, like even getting an elite spawn, it doesn't actually really matter much. No, yeah, this is so much easier with 4 now that I think about it. It's actually an enormous difference because having like a 2-player party, I guess the altar also has less health, but usually people do more damage than it has health. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely seems like it gets progressively easier with a larger party. I agree for this specific scenario. All right. Yeah, so this sucks, but I think it's still worth doing. So us, we need to just go as early as possible. We could use our Boots of Striding, and this would basically just let us get one more attack because we need to run past her. I think that's not worth it, though. I think I'd rather just attack with Massive Boulder. I'm just missing out on one attack. It's not the end of the world. Oh, yeah, this also creates Earth, which is actually significant because we need the Earth for next turn for Blunt Force. So actually, this is perfect. All right, here we go. Special 1. Oh, going after the Mindthief. So Mindthief's going to have to run out. That's okay, though. It's not a big deal. Invis didn't end up doing much, but important thing is that she goes after. So special 1 is when it's going to spawn an elite. So we got really lucky the first time. Now we're getting a bit unlucky, but that's still okay. All right, so Craggy's up first. We're going to use the top of Massive Boulder, creating Earth. We make an attack 3, range 3, targeting the altar. We flip a +2, so we get 5 damage on the altar. Then 41. And then we use the bottom of Unstable Upheaval as a default move too. 1, 2 to here. And I think I'm going to get that back here. Because I actually want to make sure that I have that initiative next turn. It's really important to go before. And it gives me an extra turn anyway. And I actually have a fly another turn because I can do this too and then these two. Which works really well. Okay. So then... Mindthief's up next. So we're going to use the top of Dark Frenzy. We're going to consume Dark and consume Ice. This gives us 2 experience, because Mindthief always needs more experience. We're going to make, so this is an attack 6 then. I mean, the blade does the same thing, but whatever. And then we flip a +2. So that's 8, plus Mind's weakness is 10, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep, that'll do. That'll do. So down to 31. And then we use the bottom of Silent Scream to go 1, 2, 3 to here. Lose our invis. Okay, the boss goes, so the altar teleports to here. All right, so the ordering is wind first. So we're going to get an elite. Oh, no. Come on. It's like the only possible thing that can really matter is an elite Wind Demon. So actually, this is an enormous amount of variance. If he gets special 2, then we get a regular Wind Demon, which is just a night and day difference because one of these two things does not disarm enemies. God. Well, we found the way we can lose still. Interesting. All right, so then the Diviner's up. Boss, once again, can do nothing because we've got an Invis blocking the door. Yeah, we've still got a good modifier on top, so I don't think it's worth looking at 3 cards. At the same time, we're only getting 1 less attack by looking at 3 cards, and we create Dark. It doesn't do too much. Yeah, I guess it's actually better to look at 3 cards. All right, let's do that. So let's use the top appearance of battle to reveal the top 3 cards of the Mindthief deck and put them back in any order. All right, well, it's good to know when this is coming at least, so we can try to play around that. I mean, it didn't actually improve our deck at all, but it gave us some useful information. And then we use the bottom duality shards, creating Dark to make an attack to range 3 on the altar. Okay. Oh, that was stupid. We should have attacked the Wind Demon and stunned it. I forgot about the Stun Powder. I forgot about the Stun Powder. Yeah, we should have definitely stunned the Wind Demon there because it's so important the Cragheart gets his attack off. I mean, the Mindthief, I guess the Mindthief can basically guarantee it now because the Wind Demons can go at 2. God. Do they not? No, they don't have it here. So they got a 1 and 7 to go before we can possibly go. That would be a disaster. All right. I mean, short resting early doesn't do too much for us here. And we still get a bottom attack. So I think we'll play these cards regardless. We do lose our invis. Okay. I mean, I'm still supposed to go for it this turn. They have 2 cards that can go before the Cragheart can possibly go. Only one of them can go before the Mindthief can possibly go. Mindthief also is just supposed to go for this and this here. And we just have to hope that we don't get dicked. Alright, don't get dicked. That's good. That is good. Alright, Mindthief's up first. It sucks that I couldn't actually be next to the altar. I should have actually used my Boots of Striding. I forgot that it would be an elite, because then I could have stunned this as well. In the end, though, let me just blow my nose quickly. 1 second, sorry. Alright, back. So basically the issue is I can't take the time ever to kill this Wind Demon. It has 12 health and 3 shield. It's just impossible. I can CC it when possible. I mean, I can try to CC it when it is possible, but if I CC it here, like I wanted this possibility simply because of, excuse me. No, there's the burp. Because of the possibility that it like went at, I don't know, 9 or 11 or something like that, and the 9 or 7 invis, whichever it is, so that I could stun it to make sure the Cragheart gets off this very, very important attack. But I don't want to attack it with this bottom here, because then I don't get to make an actual attack on the altar. So it's more important to me to actually make sure that I attack the altar. It's not attacking multiple targets here, and I can actually just tank the disarm on the diviner, just like permatank the disarm on the diviner by having the diviner be the one that gets attacked with it. Because I don't really care if the diviner doesn't get to attack the rest of the scenario. That's fine with me. I'd rather get to make another, attack 5 here from the Mindthief. So with all that said, I'm going to use the bottom of Cranium Overload as a move 5. 1, 2, 3. I just want to be as close as possible to where the next altar is going to be. And then I'm going to use the top of Perverse Edge. I could get one more attack by using this as a loss, but I don't think that's worth it. So, yep, we attack with the top of Perverse Edge as a default attack 2, plus Mine's weakness is 4. Flip a +1, so we get 5 damage. Alters down to 23. Okay, so then the Cragheart goes. So we're going to consume Earth with the top of Blunt Force. This gives us 3 experience, and this gives us an attack 8. No way to buff this attack any higher, but that's perfectly fine. Attack 8, flipping a crit, gives us a 16 on the altar. And who said the Cragheart can't do burst? Then we're going to use, so this is lost. Then we're going to use the bottom of Unstable People simply as a default move 2, 1, 2, getting, again, closer to the next altar and further away from this extremely hazardous Wind Demon. Okay, so then the Diviner goes. So the boss is immune to Immobilize and Wound, so there's no point in messing with that stuff. So basically, I'm always doing this attack. This doesn't really do anything, especially because this isn't even moving this turn, so there's really nothing to be gained by that. So I'd rather just go here. This is going to make my bottom attack a disadvantaged attack, but it's going to let me take 2 attacks here, which I think is more valuable. So yeah, I'm going to do move 2, attack 2, range 2, targeting the altar. I'll use the goggles for this attack to lose the disadvantage. Ooh, okay. Oh, it's heal ally. So actually none of our allies are missing any health. This needs to be reshuffled. Why did I actually put... Man, it didn't really matter. Let's put this stuff back because this gets reshuffled there. It's kind of annoying sometimes to have to remember to do this manually. Alright, anyway. So our attack 2 gets a +1, so 3 damage. Putting the altar down to 4. And then we use our top default attack on Dimensional Divide. Crit, +2. Oh, so close! It's funny because I said the 1 life wouldn't matter. It did matter. Although, ultimately, I needed to create the Earth, so it wasn't an option regardless. I needed to attack to create the Earth for Blunt Force, so... Alright, altar's down to 1. So now the Wind Demon goes. Push 1, pushes us here, here. Guess we get to choose. How much movement does this thing have? A boatload of movement. I guess I'd rather the Diviner be here because this makes it easier for her to tank from the Wind Demon going forward. Okay, and then attacks the Diviner. Alright, +1. So this is normally an attack for 4. +1 here is 5. We'll just take it. We don't have cards to lose in our hand right now. So we get down to 4. And get disarmed. I guess we could have just used one of our attacks with a stun powder to stun the Wind Demon. I don't know that that would have actually changed much, though. I mean, we're tanking the disarm anyway. There's certainly an argument for it. It might have actually been better to do that. All right, so the altar jumps to here. So what is the ordering? Next, we have a Night Demon. And this is special 1 again, so thus far, yeah, all elites. Not going to bother setting this thing's health, because it doesn't matter much. And then the boss runs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here and attacks the diviner. The boss hits for about 1,000,000 damage, I imagine. Yeah, I guess we're losing cards no matter what on her, but that's okay. We didn't kill any more enemies in the end? No, I don't think we did. We'll get that. Us, we need to lose a lot of cards. We'll see about that. All right, so here we go. -2. So it's -1, -2. I think this is still exactly lethal though, right? Yep, -1 and -2 is -3, but still 4. All right, so we've got to lose some cards. We have a +0 on the Mindthief, so we don't need to reshuffle. That kills. So whatever, just lose like this and this. Okay. That'll do it. That's the end of the round. So Mindthief's going to short rest. So we want to try to get down to 3 or fewer cards. Wait a second. How does... I hadn't actually thought about this before. If I keep the Mind's weakness as a persistent active, it doesn't automatically go into my discard at the end of the scenario, does it? So this wouldn't actually, like, keeping that there doesn't count towards this, I believe. Anyway, we need a short rest here. We should also short rest because we just need to get the good initiative back. That's all that matters. It is considered to be in your discard. Okay. Yeah. I had always thought that before, but now I was just thinking about this. But yeah, I think you're right. All right. So, well, anyway, I'm going to keep that there. We're going to re-roll or shuffle. All right. So, I do want to re-roll. Can I hemorrhage enough cards? I can hemorrhage enough cards. The thing is, I don't want to lose my 5 initiative. It's so important. But even if I lose the 5, I still have an 8 and a 10. I can't lose it all. So I'll re-roll. Because I would like to get a check mark. Check marks are really nice for the Mindthief. Are they that nice anymore? Yeah, we've still got some stuff we want. Alright, so we're going to re-roll, but we're going to negate... We're going to lose 2 cards to negate the damage. So we'll lose... No, whatever. I don't care that much. It's 1 check mark. I want to beat this scenario. Who cares? Let's just lose this. Can I still... I can lose 3 cards the last turn anyway? Yeah, actually I'm fine. Because we got 6 cards here, and we can lose 3 cards in a turn. Ah, no, but not with only 2. Oh, yeah, because this I will be able to put this into my discard, so I can actually make it to 3. Yep. All right, short rest here as well, just because we need the 13 initiative back. That's all that matters. Sure, don't care so much about that. Actually, I kind of do, because it's 1 direct damage, but still. All right. So the altar is at 1 life. Yep. So earliest possible initiative and an attack. This attack actually makes sense because it gives us 1 direct damage on the altar from the Night Demon. And the Night Demon can move or something, but, well, otherwise then it can still just be an attack on the altar. All right, so us, we just want to go as early as humanly possible. And we'll use this in case we need to, for some reason, like jump to make it to the other side or something like that. Who knows? Because any attack should do it. I mean, any attack does do it. It has 1 health, and we know we have a +0 on top of our deck, so. Okay. Diviner. Just long rest. Yeah, I can just long rest. So what happens if... There is still some danger here of what happens like if the Wind Demon goes exactly at its 2 and then disarms the Mindthief. God, this would be so bad, but there's nothing we can do about that on our turn. I guess we can, by short resting, we get an additional attack. Do we have another attack on top? No, we don't. We shouldn't have lost that card, actually. So we'll re-roll that, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Because we actually just want our earliest possible initiative and theoretically an attack. All right, well, we're going all in on killing this altar this turn. Here goes. 9. Okay, we're good. We got it. We got it. We don't get the chest in the end, but so be it. So be it. This scenario is hard enough. We're playing on +3. I'm going to be happy to complete it. Not worry about the fact that I didn't get the chest. I don't think it's possible for me to get it, but it's just writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, not even close. Okay. So we play the, I guess the bottom feedback loop is a move 4 jump. 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. What is the Night Demon even doing? Yeah, some stuff. And then we use the top of Cranium Overload as a default attack. We flip a +0, which kills the altar. Whew! All right. I was not so confident that we would be able to beat this scenario on the first try at +3, but the deck stacking, I mean, again, being able to stack that crit with Blunt Force is what won us this scenario. Although we were doing good damage as well. We might have actually managed. Because look how much damage we would actually get to do this turn as well. Now the Wind Demon would immobilize, yeah, the Diviner, I mean, disarm the Diviner again. So in the Cragheart, so we would have done, what? Attack 4 there. We could have technically done more, but just to be safe. So 4, so that's 3 extra damage. And then the Cragheart's getting attacked for 3. Yeah, we wouldn't have quite killed it. It would have actually jumped. So, I mean, that stacking a crit was a big deal, without a doubt. All right, Wind Demon goes, attacks the Diviner. We don't really care what this does. Okay, a crit. Sure, we'll lose a card from hand. Don't have a helmet, so. Cragheart goes. Not really anything else to do here. Just play the bottom and save all people. All allies suffer 1 damage. Shield 2 affect all allies. It just gives us 2 experience. All right, so 1 damage to you. 1 damage to you. We'll actually lose a card from hand to negate the damage. Easy. Okay, boss goes. Attack. I mean, all right. So this jumps. I guess I'm tech. Wait, no, the altar's gone. It actually can't jump anymore. All right. So the boss attacks the diviner. Oh, sure. Night Demon goes, attacks the Mindthief. -1. So 4, we have 2 shield, but we'll lose what card from hand. And then the diviner goes. We can't gain any experience, so nor can we gain any coins, so none of this stuff matters. All right, great. And then at the end of our turn, we get to do a short rest. Even just short resting, losing one of these still puts us at 3 under, so we get our check mark. All right, nice. We successfully completed it. Whew. All right, I'm just gonna quickly go refill my water and go to the bathroom. I'll be back in 2 seconds, then we can do our, well, in more like 30 seconds, then we can do the post scenario stuff. Be right back. All right, back. Sorry about that. So, what have we afterwards? First of all, check marks. None for the Cragheart, 1 for the diviner, 1 for the Mindthief. These are the most important ones anyway. What's our thing? Boss scenarios. Okay, we gotta be careful not to complete 4, huh?
And check mark there. All right, so then money. So 6 is actually 5, so the coins are still only worth 4 gold each. $8 gold here. Oops. And 8 gold here. Not a lot of gold, but I think we'll get some more from the reward. All right. Yeah, just some curses in the monster modifier deck. Put a lot in there. Didn't draw so many, but that's okay. Didn't end up needing them that much. All right, so for experience, 14 plus 17 is 31. Okay. Reset this, set you back up there. Over here, 27, I believe. It was 14 again, right? Yep. A little ways from level. Ooh, 1 check mark would have been good for us too. Would have gotten our second +2 model, but oh well. And then over here, only 8 experience. We gained a lot of experience in the beginning, but we didn't get much after that because we kind of had to focus on ultimately what had to be done. So 22 experience. 4 from level. Brutal. Maybe we get some as a reward? Nah. Alright. So we get the rift neutralized. If artifact loss is complete, artifact recovered. So 50 gold each, 1 prosperity, and a city event. Alright, so 1 prosperity. We also get to check mark this off. I guess the rift neutralizes the rift closed. Hold on. So we're going to be able to do, let me just change the screen quickly so I don't spoil anything. All right, yeah, we're fine. Yeah, I guess that must be that one. I was afraid that we locked ourselves out of something we really wanted, but it was like we're fine. Okay. Get rid of that. Put you over here. Put you over here. All right. So city event 78. All right. And actually just going to, I'm going to have to rearrange these because I know which scenario I'm doing next. I actually don't want to delete all these things. So I just need to delete Prime Demon stuff, which I don't need anymore. And the rest of this stuff. There we go. All right, 50 gold each. Oh. God, the technology is amazing. And all right. So I haven't killed any vermlings, huh? So let's reset this, grab all our cards back out, reset modifier deck. So we're going to move on to doing scenario. Oops. No, not like that. Scenario 27 next. Reset you. So I'll have to cut the recording and restart it in just a second. And you. All right, so do we want to do any enhancements now? Yeah, I think we do actually. We're gonna be like, I'm always a little bit hesitant to do the Heaving Swing enhancement because of the risk of getting locked. So, all right, first of all, I'm not going to do Dirt Tornado. I mean, or Curse Tornado. Um, well, yeah. I'm afraid the issue with doing Curse Tornado would be that it would skew too much. I mean, first of all, it's a broken enhancement. Let's be honest. That doesn't necessarily stop me from doing enhancements, although sometimes I tend away from enhancements which are just like clearly broken. Like exploiting strengthen on the bottom moves is more of a fundamental issue with Gloomhaven, but it's like exists across so many classes that I'm not going to just not do it in all the classes. But having like individual enhancements which are just way too stupid, like the enhancement dot there on Enfeebling Hex, or again the enhancement dot on Curse and Dirt Tornado, I think it's reasonable to avoid. I mean, I wouldn't blame someone for doing this enhancement. I think it's perfectly reasonable as well, but I'm just not going to do it for that reason. I mean, that's part of it. And the other thing is, again, this would, like, having this would impact significantly how we would end up playing the Diviner because we care less about giving curses. We take advantage more of muddling things, and even like the level 5 persistent law stuff like this would be more relevant. And I'd rather try to like have a more Diviner in a vacuum sort of situation rather than Diviner with someone in the party who can, dump 6 curses or 5 curses per rest cycle, which is just a bit silly. So I'm not going to do this enhancement. So this kind of just leaves, I mean, Heaving Swing is by far the best enhancements to do. The risk of enhancing Heaving Swing with plus one push is that we're at Prosperity 3, or sorry, we're at Prosperity 2, so we won't be able to enhance any other cards after we do this since we've already enhanced whatever our Blunt Force is. So we can get enhancement lock, but I guess worst case scenario, I've never actually done it before, and I don't think it's super cost effective, but we can always just put something here. So I think I'm still going to do this. On top of that, like that's the worst case. On the other hand, now because we gain a prosperity, we're only one prosperity away from prosperity 3. Now I do know we're actually going to. I mean, I don't know that the next scenario we do gives um, prosperity, and I do know it's going to like do something for us in regards to this. But again, I'm also kind of just fine with that. I'm happy to test this out, and I like the +1 push on Heaving Swing enough that I'm willing to maybe do a slightly less effect or less efficient enhancement for the Cragheart. Also, just like Cragheart enhancements aren't super good to begin with. So again, aside from the super OP Dirt NATO or Curse NATO and the very good Blunt Force. So we'll do +1 push on Heaving Swing, which just costs us 30 gold, which is really nice. Tired of not having it. Should have done it a little while ago, to be honest. All right. So let's delete all this. Let's reset all these things. We're going to need all of them, although I'll need to change the ordering, I suspect. All right. Oops, no, not this yet. First, we cut the recording.